It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hansen. I'm here with Dave Tuckman, and tonight, of course, we're going to be doing 10-20 no limit, $1,000 minimum buy-in, unrestricted max, and Mike and Barry Woods are at the table, Dave, so yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Real lot of fun. I was actually trying to anchoring to get into the game myself, but didn't happen.
Yeah.
No.
Well, let's head over to the table and let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it. Seat number 1, we've got Eric. Seat number 2, we've got the aforementioned Barry Woods. Barry, don't call me Greenstein Woods. Seat number 3, we've got Hav. Real solid player there. Seat number 4, we've got Kirk. And Kirk is real tight, super tight
Kirk
guy.
told me that he was going to be bluffing Barry tonight, though, because they've been having some words.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
Seat number 5, we've got a new player coming in. And that's Lance, actually. And Lance is pretty much of an action player. We'll see how Lance plays.
Yeah.
Seat number 6, we've got Alan. And Alan actually described his play today. He goes, you know what? I'm kind of loose pre-flop, and then I'm tight on the flop. Seat number 7, we got Mike. Seat number 8, we got Kenny. And seat number 9, we've got Mo.
First hand of the night, Barry's raised with pocket kings. Ron, if you're out there, Mike needs to show his cards there in seat 7. I don't think if he knows he's... There we go. Well, he's hit top pair, Jack 4, and the flop comes out Jack 3-7, and Barry and Mike gonna bet 200 right into the board here. He's got top pair, but Barry has the over pair, 2 red kings. And let's see what Barry's gonna do here. He's gonna raise it up. He's gonna min raise it to, and Mike calls. And this pot is quickly over $1,000. The turn is a 6. Now Mike picks up a straight draw with his Jack. Jack 7-3-6. 2 spades, 2 clubs.
Mike needs a 4 or a 5 or a Jack on the river. He's a 4-to-1 dog here.
And Barry bets 800 here.
Nice bet here. He bets about 80% of the pot.
And Mike calls.
Wow, and this pot is quickly
$2,700. Here we go to the river. Mike says he checks blind, and the river's an ace. Well, that's probably going to get Barry to check behind him, I would assume. And there it is. Barry's going to win it with kings.
You know, and the check blind really does freeze you a little bit.
It does. I mean, I guess he could be on a nut flush draw. But again, you know, Mike, he likes to use different cards. You know, he had a Jack. Obviously, if he caught a 4, it would have been good. If he caught a 5, it would have been good. But if he's really on his game, and if you're thinking, you might really be able to put Barry to the test with an ace, maybe representing the nut flush draw, right?
It's tough, though. You have no idea what Barry's on. Though.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things. Do you really want, and Mike knows this, do you really want to be bluffing Barry Woods?
Of course, we like to keep this show interactive. You can email us at liveatthebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions. You can also follow a thread started on the internet. Go to 2plus2.com, spelled out. Click on forums, World Poker Tour, etc.
Now, Mike is actually giving away information. When somebody checks blind, I don't want to say somebody, but when Mike checks blind there, specifically Mike, he is really giving away information that he probably has top pair, no real good kicker.
And that's exactly what he had.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically saying, I don't have a draw, because if he hit his draw, he's going to want to get paid on it, right? He's also saying that he's got something that he doesn't need to bluff at.
Right.
Right? He's not on some sort of draw where if he misses, he's got to bluff at it. He's got something that can go to showdown, because he's checking blind.
You wonder if Barry threw a bet in there again and Mike hit the straight card or a Jack or a 4. Well, I don't know if Barry would have bet again if Mike would have check raised.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, ace is such a scary card, but with Mike in the hand, you know, how often does he actually have an ace?
Like I said, Kirk and Barry are going to be going at it all night, seat 4 and seat 2.
You really think so?
That's what Kirk said.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Hobb has raised it up with Jack 9 of spades.
Made it 120 to go. He's going to take it down. Let's go a little rundown of the chips here. Reddish brown chips are $10 chips. Whites are hundreds. And those are the chips that we use. Big gray ones are thousands. If you see a big purple one, it's 5,000. I don't know if you've ever seen Eric in seat 1 in this game before, Dave.
He usually plays the 5-10 game. And that was just a recent move up. He was playing the 3 to 5 game before that.
Right.
And this is obviously a step up for him. Now, Lance in seat number 5, he plays some big games sometimes. He will jump into 150, 300 mixed games on occasion. And that's in seat 5. And that was the seat that I was going to take. At first, I was actually going to play over Mo, and I like that seat. I really like being behind Kenny Wynn and behind Corporation Mike. Seat 5 not being in nearly a good spot. The thing about the problems of sitting in seat 5, anytime you raise in seat 5, you are a good chance you're going to get called by Alan and Mike, right? You can almost never buy yourself the button in late position. While in Mo's seat, obviously, he can avoid pots that Kenny Wynn were to step in, and he can also have position on Mike the entire day.
You know, it's interesting. Mo stopped me as I left the casino last night and explained about why sometimes we were a little bit confused about why Mo buys in for short in this game. And he said it is when Mike is on the table, because it's kind of no-brainer decisions. Then when he builds his chip stack up, now he can start playing poker. But he actually likes to play short stacked when Mike is in the game.
Right. Well, you know, Mike can really put you to the test. It was funny, I was actually playing with Mike last night, three-handed, and I only had about $1,000 in front of me, and it was really easy to play against him until I built that stack from 1,000 up to about 4,000,
right.
And then it became a little more difficult because I had a lot more chips.
Limped around here, and Eric checks it out of the big blind. Kirk limped in with an ace-10 of clubs, and the flop comes out king-queen-4 here. Eric's got the best hand here with middle pair. He checked it, and now Kirk is going to bet.
Yeah, nice continuation bet here by Kirk.
Well, he limped.
Oh. Well, it's a nice bet anyway.
And Eric gets out of there. He's not even going to get involved there with queen 7.
Better way to use position then, I guess, huh?
But they didn't get it all in until the turn. So
Boy, it's warm in here again. So, you know, we used to have that temperature. It's been going well the last couple of weeks. Now it's like a sauna in
A
here.
little toasty,
Yeah.
I'm going to want to run that turn and river.
Menopause for me. Going through menopause. Exactly. I mean, I look at it over the dial. It says 64. Are you kidding me?
No, clearly not.
Yeah.
Button moves over to seat number 1, and the small blind is actually going to be on the button, and we have 2 big blinds here. So we've got $50 in dead money instead of the normal 30.
10-20, no limit.
Wow, and
Three-way chop? You never know, maybe another jack. Oh, you've been playing drugs. What do you got to do?
I got to tell you, I would never, if I'm a small blind on the button, why would I chop that?
I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, I'm on the button.
Yeah.
I actually probably would raise it.
Yeah.
I'm always going to chop it for one.
Free chops so far. Wow.
And amazing. You'd think that the game had like 6 Kenny Wins and Kirks and Dr.
Right.
BBs in it, but Corporation Mike and Alan and Barry in the game. Kind of the feel-out period, I guess.
Yeah.
Button's going to move over here to Barry Woods, seat 2.
About that hand, we both woke up with aces that day. How was that?
It's
I
funny.
think we'll get a chip count in here to kind of start
Both
things
had
off
pocket threes.
pretty soon.
Corporation Mike actually was playing in the 10-20 game last night after he left our show. And then he played Gore. If anybody remembers Live at the Bike a long time ago, Gore, he played Gore in 2 heads-up matches, $2,500 each match, and beat him both times.
Mike is going to raise it up here to 120 with queen 10 of clubs. Now, Lance in seat 5 is just limped with ace-queen suited. Is he going to pull the limp re-raise? He's familiar with Mike's game.
Well, it's already heads up. Yeah, he's going to call this.
Well, he has Mike dominated with the queen, and here we go to the flop. King 8-7 here with a couple of diamonds.
Yeah, and this is the problem, obviously. You play a hand like ace-queen. It's really tough to play. You know Mike's going to put a bet in there.
Yeah, bets 200 and he takes it down.
The power of position, you know, and you can't blame. I probably just call Mike there also. I mean, there's really not much value to raising there because if you raise, let's say you make it 200 more, Mike will probably call you with pretty much anything, and you get no more information. You know, you got to really pick your battles against Mike.
Button moves over here to Hob in seat 3. Now Barry Woods has got King Jack offsuit and a cutoff here. Mo's going to raise here. You know, Mike hasn't entered the pot. He's going to raise it to 120 with King 9 of diamonds. And I don't really know if I'll be calling Mo's raises with King Jack offsuit. I mean, I do have position on him.
No, I'm not going to call a raise here, King Jack offsuit. Obviously, Barry's in good shape. This is an easy hand to lay down. Nice laydown by Barry Woods. Not a hand that he would have laid down, say, 6 weeks ago.
Kirk is out of there, and Mo is going to take it down. Button's going to move over here to Kirk in seat 4. like I said, I'm going to try to not talk as much because Kirk and Barry go at it all night. The gay comments, sucking comments, sucking parts of body parts comments, all kinds of stuff.
How can we have a show without that?
And Mo's got pocket tens now in
And
C9.
Mike has folded 4 hands in a row, or like 4 out of the last 5 hands.
Mo's going to raise it up here to 240. Well, I guess it's 140.
Yeah,
That would have been a big raise.
Show a bluff, Mo. Good for the game.
And Mo's going to take it down here without a flop.
You talking Brian, Mike?
And not that it's a big difference, but you notice how Mo did make it 120 to go with King 9 of diamonds, 140 with pocket tens, and you might even see him make it 150 or 160 with pocket queens or kings.
Right.
Mo definitely, I still think Mo gives a little bit away with those raises.
Button's going to move here to C5. That's Lance. Mike is in the big blind here. Word is that Mike has a visitor. Somewhat wrapped up. Hop's got ace queen here. One off the cutoff. He's going to bring it in for 120.
All right, you can have my blind. Mad about last one?
And he's going to take it down.
Yeah, you have me in bed. Cock that. Yeah, me too. I want to cock that. Cock that. Can I have a little?
I'm going to tell you my use of this show for my own personal communication has paid off. I found a paddle tennis partner.
That's
Heading
very
down-
exciting.
Heading down to Venice Beach tomorrow.
Are you really? Are you kidding? Some random guy emailed you?
Yeah. Hopefully he won't kill me.
Well, I won't be here Monday, so hopefully Bart does make it back for Monday's show.
Mike is in the small blind here. He's got ace queen off suit.
And that's a raising hand for him, but I think he does chop.
Yeah, he does chop. Well, Lance is going to limp in here from C5. Jack 7 of spades. And Mike is going to raise. Put the pedal to the metal here. He makes it, looks like 120, and Lance makes a quick call here. Heads up here, ace queen against Jack 7. And Lance outflopped him.
Yep.
And Mike checked, and Lance checked right behind him. Well, there's the ace, and now Mike takes the lead. He bets 200. I guess Lance was trying to look to flop a big hand.
I guess so.
I'll show you one thing. I got 6-5 o'clock.
And Mike shows the ace queen.
And by the end of the show, Mike might shoot himself. He's sitting next to Alan all night.
Yeah.
Hey, where's the other dude? Mike?
Button moves over to Mike in seat number 7. Eric in seat 1 is under the gun. Actually, and you know what's pretty exciting? Our video blog is up.
Is it up there?
It is up.
www.liveatthebike.com, and what heading is it under on the left-hand side of the screen? Video blog?
Yeah, real interesting name there he came up with.
Check out the video blog. Maybe someone can post that up on the thread.
I wonder who's in charge of our creative department.
Now, Mike has raised it to 100 here with 10-4 offsuit, and Mo is called in the blind with ace-10 offsuit, and Mo has Mike dominated. King, queen, 7. Well, that's not a great hand for ace-10, but it goes check, check. Turns an 8. Mo checks again.
Mike needs a 4 and only a 4, but he's going to bet it.
And Mike bets 200, and Mo makes a quick call here with ace-high. And the river is a queen, and both players have nothing. And now Mo comes out and bets 400 here. Instantly bets 400 on the river.
Put you all in. Put you all in. No, I'm up. Promise?
And Mo's going to take it down there.
Oh, come on, Mike.
Shows him the 10.
You know, I was talking to him. I mean, kind of felt like Mike and I bonded last night, playing for about 3 hours, three-handed. And I said to him, I said, one of the best aspects of your game, one of the aspects of the game that I really kind of like is the fact that you are fearless.
Right.
And it's funny, you know, most people say that joke, like, hey, if I move all in, would you call?
You know,
He's the only player that actually would do that.
Yeah, but the funny thing about that, though, is, I mean, we've seen Mike for over a year on this show. Have we ever seen him move all his chips into the pot on a bluff, like on a stone cold bluff? I don't know if we've ever seen that before.
it's rare that he's
Yeah.
going to commit that many chips. I mean, he's crazy, but he's not stupid.
Hey, look at this. Mike is raised here again with 5-6 offsuit. Mo's got ace queen of spades here in the small blind. He's not going to re-raise. He just calls.
He doesn't have good hands all the time. Like he never has good hands.
And we are heads up again for about $300. Mike the pre-flop raiser. Well, not a great flop for ace queen. King 8-9 here. King 9-9. And now Mo just check folds there.
Yeah. Well, he's out of position.
Yep.
Actually, he was out of position.
He was out of position last
Yeah,
game,
he
too.
was. You're right.
So you are heading over to New York this weekend, right?
I am.
Flight
Got a
leaves
7
tomorrow.
a.m. flight tomorrow morning.
Probably not sticking around tonight at all.
I want to. But I think my wife would kill me if I did. So I probably won't.
6s and 9s with the
Button moves over here to Mo in seat 9. And Mike is going to raise it up again. He's got queen 8 offsuit. Made it 80. And he's going to take it down here.
Like Barry not getting his ego involved there. And if you're going to call Mike, I don't mind calling Mike's raises when I'm in position on him.
Yeah.
I don't really want to call out of position.
Got a couple of kind of substitute staff members in here tonight, Dave. Isaac is not here. We've got the ever-lovable Garo. And Don is not here. We've got a guy who helps to run the tournaments, Ron, out there, helping us with the areas. Why don't you wave at us straight ahead, buddy?
Our tournament guru.
Yeah, yeah. Works with Denny Williams.
Yes.
Yep.
Surprising. I mean, I figured that by this point, Denny would have eaten him already.
Button moves over here to seat number 1. Hopefully, Jay Siegel, the Pajato of Live at the Pike, is kind of going to hop on to the Bicycle Casino staff, write some of the tournament summaries up.
Yeah,
for the
supposedly.
tournaments.
He's been writing up the Poker Classics.
Well, Eric's got AC-deuce suited. He's going to make it 80 to go here on the button. Barry's going to call with a little 6-8 offsuit. Hobbs going to come in with a little gap-suited connector.
Now, this is different. Now you're calling Eric out of position, much different than calling Mike out of position.
Now, I don't know if did Alan bring that one in for a race? No, okay, it was Eric. Well,
Nice flop for Hobb, huh?
yeah, well, he's just got just a dry flush draw here.
He does, it looks like it should be something more,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's not, though.
You're right.
And Barry's going to bet right in here. He's going to bet 220 with middle pair. And I wouldn't be surprised if Hobb lays it down and everybody else lays it down. Hobb might make a move here on Barry.
Yeah.
He's going to raise. Hobb watches the archives, and the one thing about Barry Woods is that if rags come out from out front, he might bet any piece of that. I mean, he might bet a 3. He might bet an 8.
definitely.
And $600 more here. Barry led for about 240. Hobb made it 600 more. And look at this.
What?
Barry moves over the top all in with just a pair of 8s. Oh, wow.
Well, you know what? Obviously, he puts Hobb on a draw.
Wow.
And he is right. And he is definitely a big favorite here. He's a 3-2 favorite.
And it's a math problem here for Hobb, Dave.
Yeah.
And-
And Hobb is thinking about it. Really is a math problem. How much was the raise by Hobb?
Well, he made it 600 more. So when Barry calls that and then moves Hobb all in, there's about 1,700 in dead money in the middle. And let's say Hobb has another, maybe 2,000 left?
Yeah, not even, actually. 400, probably closer to 1,500.
So he's probably getting 2 to 1 here.
So 1,500, you're talking about a pot that is about 3,200.
Yeah.
1,500 to call. Yeah, he's getting 2 to 1, and he's not quite a 2 to 1 dog because he does have backdoor straight draw possibilities.
As long as Barry doesn't have a set here, I think heads up you call, or the possibility that Barry might have a higher flush draw.
That's the scary thing.
Yeah.
What happens if Barry's making this move with ace queen of diamonds, ace jack of diamonds?
How about a pair of 10s with a flush draw
Oh, well,
too?
then you're drawing dead almost.
Yeah. So you got to put him on a range here. Well, and again, if it's 2 to 1, Dave, and I put Barry on some of those hands, I think that you just lay it down. I think you might need 3 to 1 more here.
I think so. I mean, you've got to realize, okay, the odds are that Barry's got minimum of 10, right?
Yeah.
Let's say Barry's got ace 10 with the ace of diamonds or something like that. Well, then you need to draw, and you're only at 2 to 1.
Right.
Now, if you put him on possibility of anything else, big diamonds.
2 pair, a set, it all decreases your odds because then Barry would have redraws.
Right.
Big diamonds, of course, you're screwed.
Obviously, if you knew what he had, you could call this getting 2 to 1.
Right.
But if he's got like ace 10 of diamonds, Hobbs in terrible shape. But Hobbs going to gamble here. He's going to push it all in, and we got quickly about a $4,700 pot.
Well, here we go. Let's see the turn card.
Are they going to run it more than once? He's
Turns
picked up a straight
4.
draw.
He's picked up a straight draw. He needs a 6 or a diamond. And the river here is a 7, and he backs into a higher pair.
No, Barry's got 8s.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, got all excited there. Sorry about that. I thought Barry had 6 pair of 6s there.
Let's try again.
Yeah.
And he backs into a pair of
Lower
7s.
pair. Lower pair.
There you go.
And they didn't run it more than once, Dave.
No.
And
Wow.
Barry. Wow. And I think Hobb just felt that he was a little priced in there, right?
Yeah, probably. I guess he put him on just one pair.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind that play by Barry Woods. If you put this guy on just a 10,
Right.
if you put Hobb on like King 10 or Queen 10, or you put Hobb on a diamond draw, I don't like him calling his money off.
Yeah.
I don't mind him pushing there, though. I mean, if Hobb's got Jack 10 there, what's Hobb going to do? He's going to lay it down. He's throwing it away. Not even close. And if he's got diamonds, it's real close. I actually think he probably should have laid it down just for the fear fact that maybe Barry Woods has got big diamonds himself.
Right. We get a raise here by Mike from up front. He's got Queen Jack offsuit here, Dave.
No, it's 80.
And when Hobb loses money, that's pretty much, he's probably one of the most solid players you'll see on the show. When he loses money, that's pretty much how he's going to lose it. He's going to lose it where, you know, he made a move with a draw, he's pot committed himself, or something like that, or the other way around. He's got the pair, and the other guy's got the draw, and they catch up.
I mean, it's Hobb and Mike. I guess they don't bet against each other. Hobb's got a 10 here. They've become friendly, and they don't bet against each other. Well, something that of course, we don't encourage, but I guess it's kind of rare that he'll get into a pot heads up. I mean, the problem now, though, is that if George, Hobb, and Mike are on the same table, that's like 30% of the table not playing against
Well,
each
we're
other.
gonna.
It's gonna have to. We're gonna have to address it.
Yeah, we won't allow that.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to tell you, the problem with them not betting each other, and I talked to Mike about this last night.
Yeah.
You know, and he addressed it a little bit. We were talking about it. He was very frank with me about it.
Yeah.
And the problem with it, though, is you have to protect your hand.
Right.
I can understand, you know what? If you're playing with a good buddy of yours, you bet the flop, you bet the turn, and then on the river you just check it down.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. But I really don't understand when you're not protecting your hand. And if you look at that case there, you know, if Mike catches a queen, or if he had a diamond in his hand,
Right.
you know, Hobbs giving away money there.
Let's take a look at the first chip count of the night here, Dave. Almost 30,000 on the table. This is going to be our start point. Let's take a look at the differences. Gary's up 3,500 with that win over Hobb, and Hobbs down a quick 3,000.
Wow. Just like that. That was a big pot, huh?
Yeah. This pot was limped around here. And then the flop is 10-9-5, and Mike's got King 10. He's going to lead out with top pair. He's got the best hand. King 10 here, and I don't think anybody's going to call him.
No. You know, Barry must have, you know, he must have almost gotten sick when Hobb actually called him.
Oh, man. Well, and like you said, I guess it's not necessarily a bad play if Hobb just has a 10.
Well, put Hobb on a hand there.
But the problem
He's
is...
raised you. The flop is 10-8.
Right.
10-8-3.
The problem is, though, is that if Hobb has like a double way flush and straight draw, you're almost a pretty big dog.
Yeah, I mean,
he's going to call.
Obviously, Hobbs going to call you with ace-10 of diamonds.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, Hobbs probably going to call you with 2 pair or better. Okay. But remember, he called a raise. I mean, there are a lot of hands he could call. He could call a 10-8 suited.
Yeah.
Definitely could have 2 pair. You know, hey, you know, sometimes you got to really push and you got to play it, you know, play it aggressive. And nice play by Barry Woods, I got to tell you. I like it.
And I guess they chopped the straddle there. That's
No, they didn't. He took the
Oh.
money. Alan was trying to talk him into it, but it didn't work.
interesting post here on 2+2 by the man saying, says, I benefited a lot from the show, guys. Any tips and advice on playing short-handed No Limit Hold? And is there a possibility that we can do a short-handed game on the show? The problem with doing a short-handed game is that so often people get up from the game that it's just really kills the game.
Yeah.
And
You play four-handed. A lot of times they'll take a table break. Everybody will take a break for 10 minutes at some point.
Yeah. And Mike is complaining about how tight this table, and it's true. If you look at the table, there's a lot of tight players. I mean, it's just Alan and Barry that might give Mike action, obviously.
And Barry's kind of like tightened up his game a little bit. And I like the way he has. He's tightened up his game where he's not calling raises with King Jack.
Right.
But when he feels like he has the best of it, or when he feels like there's some fold equity there, he's gonna really push.
Called me 800 yesterday with a 600. Okay, maybe it's 5 spot, huh?
Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions.
I need a couple more martinis.
I'll tell you, Mike has a couple more drinks. I'm gonna go out there.
Button moves over here to Allen. This table is really blowing tight here.
What do you want to do, Ken? You want to chop it up, man? Yeah, let's not play a hand. Let's all just sit here all night. Anybody got any good fucking stories? Huh? You got any good stories? But you got to have some good stories. Tell us about your ex-boyfriend.
It's amazing, really. I mean, you look at this table here, you wouldn't think it's that tight, but you got Eric in seat 1, who's normally not this tight, but he's moving up today. Wonder if he's playing a little bit out of his range, playing a little tighter than normal. Barry's kind of changed his game up a little bit. Hobb is tight. He's already taken a hit. He's down 3,000 now. We got Kirk and Lance who are tight. Allen usually mixes it up a little more than he is, but he's taken a couple of bad days the last few days, and maybe he's tightening it up. Wow.
Again, I want to point everybody to our website, liveatthebike.com. After the show, you click on video blog, take a look. It's kind of, we're going to hopefully be doing that, and I guess we'll have a system of cataloging it as we continue to do more and more. But there's only one there right now. And this is funny, we're getting a new setup here, Dave, and right before I hopped in the game that I normally play this afternoon, on the issue of checking the cards in the setup, a guy was dealt pocket deuces, 2 deuces of spades.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
And he was pissed because he thought that, like, the casino was cheating him. He thought that someone was cheating. He was really pissed and he walked off. He thought somebody, like, slipped an extra card in the deck.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that was just a dealer mistake.
Right.
When somebody didn't double check that.
Well, the funny thing was, the hand before he got the 2 deuces of spades, he lost a king-high flush over an ace-high flush with spades. But what he didn't realize was that it was with the other deck.
Well,
You know what I
see
mean?
what you mean. Okay, I got you.
Obviously, that extra spade makes a big difference.
Yeah, definitely. Email here from Jake M. He says, hey, remember my email from yesterday about running bad? Well, I took charge of my situation. I stopped playing for the rest of the night. I watched the archives and took some notes about some of the archive hands. Ended up talking to my friends about it, kind of analyzed my play, and today I'm having a much better day. Thanks,
good.
guys, for the advice. Greatly appreciated. Well, we thank you for the email.
You know, it's funny, Mike was complaining about how tight the table is, but I would assume this gives him the opportunity to start raising a lot.
Well, he will. He's going to probably raise 5 out of 10 hands.
He said he was up in this country, so he's understanding.
It's folded around here to Mike, and he's going to limp.
I just want to
His deuce 4 offsuit. And Kenny Wood says, I have a Barry Woods hand. He completes with 7 deuce offsuit.
And look at the deuces there, Dead.
Lance is not in the hand. Ace, king, ace here on the flop. And Mo's going to come out and bet 100 here on the king.
And he's in great shape.
Every hand you still one hand. It is. It's a total steal. I raise you 500
And Mo's going to take it down there for bet.
Surprising Mike would limp in on the button with deuce.
Yeah,
4.
why not just raise?
Yeah.
You know?
Post there from the man there about small short-handed games. I was just mentioning that I actually really enjoy short-handed games if it's the right lineup.
Yeah.
And I was playing the 10-20 game last night. It was 6-handed at a moment, then it was 4-handed, and for a while 3-handed. And obviously, when you're playing short-handed, you really can't wait for big hands. You've got to play aggressive.
Interesting, Johnny has said, I watched the video blog today. I like it. Anybody that's already watched the video blog, how about that damn hand with my set of 9s? Very peculiar hand, huh?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
got to go check it out. Go to liveatthebike.com, click on the video blog, and watch it. And what we'll do throughout is we'll be going through our hands, and obviously you can email us your hands, and we'll analyze your hands as well.
4-way action here, limped around. 9-8 deuce. Now, Barry's got the best hand here, the pair of 8s. Again, I have to point out, like I did on Wednesday, Barry is basically in second position. He is limping under the gun with a very in early position with a very speculative hand when Mike is in a raising position.
Yeah. And Mike might just raise, by the way, because Barry's limped in.
Now, Mike is called with the deuce here. Barry's got an 8. Here we go to the turn. Turns a jack.
Barry's still in the lead here, but probably can't take much heat. He's only got second pair now, actually third pair now.
He bets
no
200.
kicker.
Mike is going to lay it down. When we talk about how hard a hand like 6-8 offsuit plays out of position, especially when you've got a guy who's in the cutoff or when Mike is on the button, it's going to raise it up 30 to 50% of the time. It's just sometimes bleeding chips off because, you don't know what Mike has when he raises anyways, Dave. So to get a maximum value out of 6-8, you've got to flop trips or 2-pair, and Mike also has to have a hand.
Right. I mean, theoretically, you could actually have just a pair of 8s and let Mike bluff off $1,000. That happens too. I would venture to say, Mike will probably raise 30 to 50% of the time normally. I'd venture to say if Barry Woods limps in early position, Mike is going to raise every time.
Lance has got Queen 10 offsuit. He's going to limp in. Allen limps in with Ace 8. And Mike's got 2 limpers. And this is going to go right into his game, and he's going to raise it. He's going to mini raise it. Makes it 60 to go here with 5-6 offsuit.
We've got to get some alcohol in here or something.
Look at this. Barry's going to call with the Jack 5 of hearts in the blind here, Dave.
Mike has also started doing this, by the way, of changing his raise amounts where he doesn't always make it 150 or 120. And that he definitely gave away some information by raising it that much.
$250 pot here going 4 ways. Jack 6-10. Now Barry's got top pair. And he checked it, kind of a coordinated
How about a
board.
5 on the turn?
Now Lance has got middle pair. And it gets checked around. No one takes a stab at it here. Well, the turn is an ace, and now Allen's got the best hand.
Yep. And Allen will bet this when it gets to him.
Well, how about this, though? Barry's going to come out and bet. I don't know if you bet here with that ace.
I don't think you can bet it. I mean, if it comes out of rag, if any card under, say, 7 comes out, you can probably bet it with the Jack.
He bets 220 here, and when Allen calls, Mike is easily going to go away from this hand, I'm sure. I mean, he could catch 2 pair here, but I mean, if it's a 6 of clubs, he doesn't know.
And the 5 is no good, actually.
That's right.
He doesn't
Barry
know
would
that.
have jacks up. Pot is now $800. Mike's saying he should raise here. A bet and a call, somewhat of a sign of weakness. How about if the turn? How about if the river's a blank and Allen ever value bet the ace here? Wouldn't that be unbelievable?
Yeah, I mean, Allen probably would bet a bigger ace, say
Right.
ace queen or ace king, but
Here we go to the river. And the river's a queen, and now it's a one-liner to a straight. Now, is Barry going to maybe use that? Now it's going to go check, check. And Allen's going to win it there with the ace.
I'm expecting you to bet the flop. Yeah, you got to bet your own hand, Junior.
Hey, really?
Yeah.
That wasn't in the book I read, Mike.
I know. I wasn't in the book you read. Right?
Yeah, and what the hell did you have that was so great that you raised? Did you have any piece of that?
I had 3rd pair, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now I start feeling the cool air come in here, Dave. It's
Allen
nice.
calls behind you, you got to fold.
I could just listen to these guys. These guys are hilarious.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot of draws. Maybe flush draw, but I just didn't see.
And as much as I like Mike, he's a good guy. I always root for him to lose only because he's so much funnier when he's losing.
Yeah, I love that, Mike.
Mike is going to limp in here with Queen 8 offsuit. Kenny Wynn's got pocket 10s here.
I appreciate that.
And he makes it, what, 120?
Yep. Now, Hobbs got Queen Jack suited in the big blind.
And not against Kenny Wynn, though.
Well, he's going to make the call here.
Wow. And this is the one thing I was wondering about Hobbs' game, and we'll see it tonight. And I've told him I don't pull punches. I really do like his game. I wonder, though, how does he play when he's down?
Well, how about this flop for Hobbs? Nice drawing hand here. King, King 9. I mean, he's got a flush draw and a gut shot. Boy, if he leads out there, and he leads out with a king. But it gets checked around. Checked around here on the flop. And the turn is another 9. If Hobbs bet that flop, I think he would take it down right there. And now Mike's going to take a stab at it. He's going to bet 400 here. Now
And Kenny's almost definitely going to call this at least. At least call this, and he might even raise all in. We'll see.
I got Queen 9, Kenny.
not quite. And Kenny lays it down.
Wow, that's a really, really tight lay down, I got to tell you.
Well, you know, Dave, I was talking about Hobbs' game on Wednesday.
And the river is a 4 clubs. I don't mind. See, you think Hobbs should have fired at it? I don't think so. I really don't think
What
so.
I'm saying is that sometimes he doesn't push as much with his draws. I'm not necessarily saying he should have. I'm just pointing something out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just surprised. Okay, Kenny Wynn raises.
Yeah.
The flop comes out King, King 9, and Mike calls. Okay, that doesn't mean much, but Mike is in the middle, and you want Hobbs to bet into those 3 players in first position?
I mean, his hand is almost as good. I mean, depending if Kenny's got aces or kings, you might. I mean, if Kenny has aces, I think he might just smooth call there. I mean, if someone else doesn't have a king there, especially with Hob, who
right.
leads out with
I
a
see what
king.
you're saying there. I mean, I'm surprised Kenny didn't actually bet the flop.
Me too.
Really surprised.
Now, Kirk's got pocket kings here. It's going to be limped around here.
Kirk will raise this up. I mean, I'm actually surprised Hob called out of the blind. And that's one thing I want to watch for is Hob's game going to change now that he's down 3,000? Normally, on this show, he's had amazing luck. He always seems to win on Live at the Bike. Let's see, a mark of a good player is he'll play good when he's losing or when he's winning.
140 more.
And Kirk makes it 140 to go. 140 more to go, sorry.
Well, now, Kenny quickly gets away from 4 or 5 of diamonds.
Probably like an 8-9 suit.
You know, against a guy like Kirk, Dave, I might want to be 40 or 50 times deep with a suited connection. You might not even get involved at all, actually.
Yeah. I mean, there's some fold equity there. You could probably get him off it at
Yeah.
position, but you know, you can pick your spots better. Do you really want to be in a hand where you're setting up 2 bluff?
Rolos?
These are rollers. I love rollers.
Button moves over here to Hob and C3.
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes a paired board like that, King, King, 9. I know I have King, Queen, Jack of Hearts. It just, to me, sometimes it looks like a bigger hand than it actually is. And I'm just a little bit worried with the paired board out there that I could either be drawing dead. Well, obviously there's a straight flush out there. 10 of Hearts is a straight flush. But I could either A, be drawing dead, or B, be drawing really slim. I mean, let's say somebody's got King, Queen, or Ace, King.
Well, one of his outs was, I mean, the gut shot wasn't good unless he caught the 10 of Hearts because Kenny had pocket 10.
Yeah, talk about reverse implied odds there. 10 of Hearts had hit. Kenny win probably goes broke.
It's like literally you got someone who doesn't even know what they're doing.
Now, Eric here is, what is he, mini raised it here? He made it 40 with 7, 8 of diamonds.
And
No,
once-
it was Stroud pot. It's limped around here. No, I'm wrong.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And once again, though, and people don't realize that is just giving away so much information.
Well, it's interesting. Kirk is open-ended here, but Eric is flop bottom 2 pair, and Kirk is going to lead at it with the semi-bluff.
I like it. I like the bet.
He's going to bet 80, and I would assume Eric is going to raise it up right away here with bottom 2.
One day I'll sit down and learn it. Well, the only time I can
I mean, I guess I just have so much respect for Kenny Wynn's game because normally I do like betting into players. But when Kenny Wynn raises, I don't even want to be in there.
That's too expensive. I'm going to go through 2 grand.
Let's see what Eric is going to do. He's going to raise.
All right, I'll spend 2 grand. Oh, I'm sure I can learn.
140.
Yeah, 140 more.
Yep. Now, Kirk's got to start thinking about what Eric would raise with here, Dave.
Well, he only made it $40 pre-flop. Pocket jacks are probably not a likely hand. I don't mind the laydown at all with 2 clubs out there.
Yeah.
Obviously, if a 10 were to come up, it's a one-liner. You're probably not going to get paid much money anyway.
I think the guys are, Lance is trying to convince Mike and Mo to go play over in the 61-20 mix game after the show. If those 3 guys play, I'm going over there as well.
Well, they were talking last night. Stan Goldstein was playing with a bunch of guys last night. And while I was playing with Mike, they were trying to get Mike to play in the game. And Mike kept saying, if you give me 50% of my losses back, I'll play.
I mean, if they play what they were playing last night, see, I don't really know deuce to 7 all that well. That's the only kind of weakness. But I mean, if they're playing stud high-low, limit, hold'em, Omaha, oh man, I'm moving there in flash.
Poker's poker. If you know how to play poker, you can adapt to any game.
Can I take it back?
Kind of a slow start to our normal hectic Friday night. I'm sure this game will pick up, though. It always does.
Now, Barry has raised it up here to 120 with 6-5 offsuit. Hob is called with pocket 5s, and Mike's going to give action here with queen 10. Spot's quickly $400 here going to the flop. 9-8-4 here. Well, Barry's got a gut shot here to the 7.
Mike also had a gut shot, obviously. A jack gives him the straight.
You're going to be famous.
Yeah, in England.
And if this gets checked over to Hob, he bet, but it looks like Barry's going to continuation bet here. And I don't think Mike's going anywhere. I just have a feeling.
Yeah? Think maybe he's going to check raise him?
I think he might just at least call. Barry's going to bet 340 here into about a $400 pot.
It's one thing about Barry's game you got to like. I mean,
show ID.
he really shows some strength. He always puts those strong bets in there.
Problem with pocket fives here is it's almost raise or fold, Dave, and if you raise, you're only going to get called by something that beats you. You know?
Yeah, I mean, the board is so connected.
Yeah.
What safe card could come off?
Right.
Besides maybe like the deuce of diamonds, you know?
Or pair the 4 or something like that. But Hob looks like he's going to raise. Might be a little bit steaming about what Barry did to him, and he's going to raise it up. He's going to make it 600 more, and I think that Barry's going to get out of his hand. Obviously, if Barry had 5 or 6 of spades, this would be a little bit different. Like,
oh, definitely. 5, 6 of spades, I think Barry probably pushes right back, and all the money goes in again. Although I don't know if Hob calls this time. And this is part of fold equity. Hob will make these plays once in a while where he thinks his hand is the best one. And once again, obviously, if Barry were to move all in here, he would take this down. But how does he know that?
And Barry's going to fold it there. Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions. And we got a player coming in the game, Dave. It's Boris. Boris! I used to play with Boris in 20 and 30 Hold'em. He's going to play over Mo. It's going to be really interesting, Dave. He's just recently picked up No Limit Hold'em.
And you wonder if he's going to be a little bit out of his league in this game. Now, I actually played a 5-10 game with him the other night.
Yeah.
And the only thing I really noticed out of him was that he was extremely tight.
Really?
Well, at least he was in the No Limit game I watched. Now, you never know. Obviously, maybe he just wasn't picking up hands.
Boris he's such a funny guy because he'll curse at the dealers in with his Russian accent.
Look at him.
Yeah.
What a character.
39.45.
Motherfucker, cocksucker, motherfucker. I can't do a Russian accent that well, but we'll hear that.
Well, hopefully the dealer will give him a bad beat so we can hear it. He's going to play over Mo.
Yep.
Mo's going to take a break from this game for a little bit.
Barry Wood's got an ace-queen here. Make it 120 to go. Getting word that Boris is going to buy in for 1,700 here. Kirk said he's going to make a move on Barry. Now look at this. Mike calls and Kenny Wynn quickly lays down 6-7 of diamonds. Maybe he's just not deep enough.
Well, out of position once again. I mean, do you really want to play out of position with 6-7 of diamonds?
Here comes the flop. Well, Barry's hit the ace. Now Mike has got a gut shot to the 3. Ace, deuce, 4 here. Mike got 5-6 in his hand. Barry's going to bet 400 here as the continuation bet.
And Mike's thinking about that.
Mike might raise here, Dave, kind of as a semi-bluff.
Well, he might do that. He also might call and see if he can set up spades,
Or he
but
might
he's not
fold.
going to get involved, right?
Yeah.
I had one of them.
He's going to rabbit hunt.
Ah! Sick.
He said he got there.
Somehow, if I get to the river, you go wrong.
And it was a 3 on the river.
On the river.
Yeah.
Somehow if I get
Yeah.
to the river, and I don't think he's getting to the
Yeah.
river, though.
Never mind.
Once again, we're live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen. You're watching 1020 No Limit. The minimum buy in this game is only $1,000, but it's unrestricted max, and we've got over 30,000 on the table right now. Email here from Tony T. He says, what's the easiest way to obtain percent, favorite, or pot odds pre-flop? He says, I know the little trick you guys use about multiplying times 4 on the flop and 2 on the turn, but how do you do it pre-flop? Well, I don't really know what you think you're up against pre-flop. I'm not exactly sure.
Obviously, it depends on what you think you're up against. You know, a good way to practice it, though, is you can go over to liveatthebike.com, click on the Pokulator, and start playing with some hands. You know, take Ace-King versus Ace-Jack, and take Ace-King versus Queen-10. You know, pocket pair versus other cards, and you can kind of play with it. And after you do it for maybe 15, 20 minutes, you'll start figuring it out. 6-6-3 on the flop. It was limped around turns of 4. Now, I'm a little surprised Kenny. I mean, if I'm Kenny there, I probably lead out on that flop with people thinking that I'm going to bet out with my trips. And now he's going to lead out with a 4, and he has the best hand. Would you lead out there with 4-5? I probably would if I'm Kenny Wynn. I mean, his image is such that he is only going to get called by a 6. Right. I mean, I'm not even sure if somebody with pocket 8s would bother calling him, you know? Yeah. And he takes it down there. And once you start figuring it out, if you go to the Pokulator and you check it out, you'll figure out that's pretty easy. You notice that, like, you know, Ace-King over Ace-Jack is about a 2-to-1 favorite. Well, you go, okay, well, that's a 3-outer. So if somebody's got Ace-Jack and I've got Queens, well, the Ace-Jack is probably about a 2-to-1 dog as well, because he's got 3 outs and 3 aces as well. And you can start playing with it that way.
Did I tell you I liked your range?
email here from West Victory.
Yeah, like your earring?
He says, I have a problem. Internet versus live paradox. Every time I play on the internet, I lose, basically.
Definitely you.
Uh,
Change the way I live.
but when I'm live, I win 90% of the time. What can account for this? Is it the skill levels of the casino players versus the internet players? Well, I know what some of the internet players would say out there. Yes, they always seem to think the internet games are much, much tougher than live games.
I think there's collusion on the internet.
Well,
I think you're losing because you're playing 4 people that are in on the same partnership. But hey, just my 2 cents.
email here from Trevor. He says, hey guys, I just started watching the show a few weeks ago, and now I don't miss a single episode. Your show has made me want to switch from limit cash games to no limit. All my no limit experiences through multi-table tournaments and sit-and-goes. I know you both used to play a lot of limit in the past. What are some of the changes I should look to make when I'm making that transition from limit to no limit?
Well, first of all, if you're watching this show on a daily basis, you'll notice it because we talk about it all the time. And you can start picking it up on yourself. One thing I like to say, now Eric's got kings here, and he's trying to decide what to do.
Mike has raised it to 80 with 4-5. Boris is going to call with ace deuces clubs here on the button, and I assume Eric's going to come back over the top here.
Yeah, it's a clear raise situation. One of the reasons I like raising, I don't really want to, I want to charge Mike more money here. I rarely like to slow play against Mike because more often than not, he'll call you anyway.
Well, he's made it 250 total. So it's 170 more back to Mike, and I'm trying to see how much Eric has in front of him there. I don't know if we can get a shot there, seat number 1.
And you see this, Mike's going to call anyway, and that's where the added value is. You're charging Mike more money for the flop.
Yeah, Eric's got about maybe 2,000 or so behind.
Now against the more predictable player where I can put him on a hand, I might just smooth call there.
And Boris overcalls with ace deuce of clubs. This is a big mistake here from Boris.
Yeah, it really is. It's a limit hold'em mistake.
Now the ace is good here, and this pot is $800. And the flop comes 7-4-8 here. Well, Mike's got middle pair, and he's got a gut shot to the 6. Let's see what Eric's going to do here. I think Eric's probably going to pot commit himself anyways.
Oh, not even a question.
The pot is $750, even more than that.
And I think you make it about, you put about 700 in there right now. Why not? Which will pretty much pot commit himself.
I'm not worried about it, Mike. Has this guy acted yet, or what's the story?
You know, in this case, if somebody's got 8-7, somebody's got a set, or somebody's got 5-6.
Well, he's betting 440 here, so it's a little bit of a weak bet, but I still think he is pot committed, and Mike has to realize that.
Yeah, 440.
A little better.
Is it 640 or 4?
No, it is 640.
640.
Oh, big difference,
Oh,
obviously.
I'm sorry.
No, you know, he said it was 440.
No, he did say it was
He
440.
verbally said 440, but he put 640 out there. So it's only 440. Now the pot,
Is now about 1,200, 440 to call. Mike makes the call.
yeah, he's going to see if he can hit a 5, a 4, or 6. He figures he's got that out.
And now it's a $1,600 pot now.
He correctly probably puts Eric on a big pair.
Well, turns a deuce.
No help there.
Did Eric check? Oh, man, Eric checked, Dave.
Yeah, that's a terrible
And I
mistake.
think Mike's going to take the card just like last night.
Yeah, that's a real big mistake by Eric. I'm not sure what he's doing.
I mean, unless Mike thinks he's got ace-king, I think you might take the card here.
Yeah, I just don't understand. The problem with giving Mike a card here is you really have no idea what he has.
Yeah.
Mike can raise with any 2 cards. He could be in there with Jack-7. He could be in there with 8-deuce. And when the river card comes off, what might look like a safe card isn't necessarily a safe card.
Like, how about a 4 on the river here?
And Mike
checks right behind him, Dave. Here we go to the river. And the river is a 5. And Mike makes 2 pair. Oh, boy.
You know what? Eric really played this to lose. I'm not quite sure what he was
And now
thinking.
if he checks, Mike's probably going to move. Well, he's still pot committed, though.
Yeah, I just don't see how Mike can put this guy on a 6. Mike is only losing to a...
Wow, Mike just called. It was a $600 bet, and Mike just called. And I got to tell you, I think Mike left a little bit of money on the table because Eric, if Kirk moves his head, he only has like 400 left.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric bet 600, Mike called. Now, with the money in there, the pot is now $2,700. Why not just put the extra 400 in there for value?
Is there any way that the way Eric played this hand, is there any way that Eric had a set?
Right. Well,
I mean, I don't think so either, but is there any way that he could have a set here? Now, Eric re-raising out of the blind, I think it's screaming aces, kings, or queens.
Yeah, and I'm also telling you that I don't think he would do that with 8s or 7s. And when he only has 400 left, I just think it's an easy, just little push there by Mike because obviously you're not worried about any other type of re-raise.
No, you're not at all.
And Eric has to call with just about anything.
Yeah, I really don't understand the way Eric played that hand. I love the raise pre-flop, and one of the reasons why is because you never know what Mike has.
Yeah.
And you want to charge him for that flop. And then I think you bet 640 on the flop or 700 on the flop, and then I think you put the rest of it. If you get called
He
there.
meant to bet 640, but he only bet 440.
But he said 440.
Yeah.
And then I think you put the rest of it on the turn.
I want to be involved. You know?
Hobbs got pocket nines here, and Eric, and we've got Barry took a free ride. Hobbs did not raise out of the big blind with pocket nines, and Barry's got 3 queens here, and he's going to come out and bet. Now, is Hobbs going to get involved here?
And that's the strength of Barry's play.
Yeah.
He would bet a 7 here. He would bet diamonds here. He'd bet nothing, and he also bets his queen. Tough to put him on a hand.
And Hobbs going to raise it here. He's going to kind of put that little mini raise in. And I think Barry's not going anywhere.
Oh, no, definitely not going anywhere.
And Barry makes the call.
And sometimes that mini raise can actually be a pot controlling raise, because watch what happens here.
How about this? The turn's a 9 and Hobbs fills up. Wow.
Oh, my. Talk about
And look
bingo.
at this. Barry's going to bet 400 here, and I think if you're Hobbs, you put a pot raise in here. I think you raise it up a little bit.
Now,
make
Hobb
it
is
1,000.
Hobb is not out of danger here. Barry can catch a 3, a 7, a 9, or a queen. Hobb is pretty much a 4-to-1 favorite, though.
Barry put in a pot-sized bet on the turn, and Hobb is going to make it up. He's going to raise it. He made raises here.
Now, let me ask you this.
And this is a great pot build to raise, and
For
Barry makes a
Barry,
good call.
what can you beat?
Here we go to the river. Oh, the river's a 7! And Barry's got queens full. Oh, my. And it goes check, check. Barry checked the river. And Hobb checked right behind him. And what a sick beat there.
Well, I mean, it was beat upon beat. I mean,
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, let's say, Hobb caught his 2-outer before Barry caught his, what, like his 8-outer?
Yeah. Wow.
But, man, oh, that is just sick.
And actually, the more and more, we get all caught up in the moment, I actually don't necessarily mind the check by Barry. Now, people might say, well, it's a double-paired board. You've got the nuts there. We don't necessarily have the nuts. The way Hobb played it, he played it like he had a queen.
Oh, definitely.
So
I'm not
your
surprised.
queen 3 would only chop. So he checked the river. I don't necessarily mind that. Do you?
No, not at all. I mean,
Yeah.
you're losing to queen 9, specifically
Right.
queen 9
Yeah.
only, or pocket 7s.
Yeah.
And you've got to realize there's a chance that Hobb has those hands.
Goodbye, Davey.
He is in the blind.
Yeah.
And is there any value? Is there any value actually to betting the river? Probably not. I don't think Hobb even calls the river. Even with pocket 9s, I think he throws it away. I think he knows that Barry's got a queen. He throws it away. I don't mind the check at all on the river. The more you think about it, there's really no value at all to betting that river.
5-way action here, limped around. You can see that Hobb has 1 queen in his hand. Gets checked around here. Turns a king. Hobbs got queen deuce. He's open-ended now.
And I gotta tell you, that's one of the jobs I'd never want. After somebody gets a bad beat, to have to go up to them and go, "Hey, can you put your cards in the camera?" Oh man. I mean, I wouldn't have minded. I gotta say, I was surprised. I liked the way Barry played the hand by betting into your opponent. But at the same time, I'm surprised Barry actually didn't lay it down on the turn.
Barry bets here with pocket 5s. Got checked to him twice, and he's going to take it down with what is the third best hand here.
Now, there's one thing that's interesting. The strategy that you and I advocate, and the strategy that Barry obviously employs by betting in with your trips.
Yeah.
You've got to realize that sometimes we set ourselves up for a little problem. Because what ends up happening is you bet in with your trips, and somebody goes, okay, well, you've never bet trips, so you don't have trips.
Right.
So they raise you. Well, then you call. Okay, then the turn comes out. You bet, and they raise you again because they don't think you have trips. And now suddenly you think your trips are no good because maybe your kicker doesn't play. And in the end, it's because they actually have pocket 9s, like in this case.
And what you were trying to get out there as the action was going was, if you're there in Barry's spot, you might lay queen 3 down on the turn, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, but you understand that Hobb didn't put him on a queen right away because he bet it right away.
Right.
Or maybe he did and he tried to get him off it, but I can't imagine Hobb trying to get Barry Woods off of a hand, especially a queen.
5-way action here. Ace, deuce, ace here with a couple of spades. Kirk got ace 10. Hobbs got a flush draw. Now Hobbs got the second nut flush draw. He's on the button. It is a paired board. And Kirk is going to come out, and he's going to bet.
Yeah, and this is an easy laydown for Hobb. It really is.
You got an ace, Kirk? My kings are dead.
Kirk bet 70. Mike is going to call with 8-9, and Hob overcalls. I think Mike's trying to set up some sort of play. He's got 8-9. He has absolutely nothing. And Hob's got the flush draw. Well, the turn's in 9. Mike now picks up a pair.
And that's actually bad for It's actually bad for Kirk because Mike doesn't think he has to bet now.
Well, now Mike just folds it.
Yeah.
Now that he's bet in twice.
Yeah, he goes, okay, you got it. Sometimes the best thing that can happen is that Mike doesn't make a hand.
And look at this. Maybe Hob is like tilting a little bit here. I mean, he's going to overcall. He's going to call here again. Paired board, and the river's a 7. And Kirk just checks here. And is Hob going to try to bluff at it? And Hob is going to bet
$600, and I think Kirk's going to easily call this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hob has got busted spades. And Kirk, I think he knows he's good here.
Yeah. And that's really an image thing you've got to realize. And sometimes it's easier said than done. It's always easier when you're either not that person or, obviously from our situation, when you take a couple of bad beats or a couple of beats, even if it's cold deck beats, you've got to realize that your image at the table now is such that do not bluff. Don't try to bluff, okay? Instead, it's actually you should be over-betting your made hands because they think you're bluffing. It would have been a great bet, actually, if Hob had an ace there and he over-betted, he would have got called probably because you almost put him on a bluff.
This is interesting, kind of a news, kind of like a envy, people familiar with 2+2, kind of that gossip. Looks like either Cody or Orlando has come on the thread tonight and has posted a rather lengthy post in response to that guy, Sir Felix the Cat, who's kind of a guy that's been a little bit bashing their game, saying they came back busto. He's from Amarillo as well.
Right.
So this guy's come on the post. I don't know if that's Orlando or Cody, and defended himself.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, it's good to have some fan base
hey, it's great, man.
Out there.
Started up. I gotta tell you, Orlando and Cody, 2 really nice guys. More than welcome to come back here whenever they want.
Hob is going to raise it up to 180 here with ace-king. Mike was straddled here. Now for Boris, again, kind of, I mean, Boris has only got 1,500. He's going to call out of position with king 10 here.
Yeah, obviously a mistake.
Yeah. And this pot is going to be about $800 here going 4 ways.
Yeah, he learned that in Russia, I think.
Well, this flop has missed everything. Is Hob going to be able to continuation bet here? I mean, sometimes I won't bet here against more than 3 or 4 players, Dave.
Well, sometimes you take a beating like you have, like Hob has, and sometimes you just get a little gun shy, and that's what happens.
Turns a 5, and now Mike picks up the best hand here with pair
and Mike's
5.
almost going to definitely bet it, and he does.
Yeah, he bets 400.
You know, and Hob might be kind of wondering, because, you know, the weird thing is, if a 9 doesn't come off in the turn, Barry's going to still bet in on the turn.
Yeah.
And Hob's just going to throw it away.
Right.
He doesn't lose any more money out of that. Kind of that Phil Ivey. Everybody remembers how Phil Ivey got knocked out of the 2004 World Series against Chris Moneymaker, where Moneymaker actually flopped trip queens.
Right.
Bet it. Ivey called him, picked up his 9 on the turn, had 9s full, and then Moneymaker filled up with his queens full of aces on the river.
And Ivey actually played that hand as a check raise all in on the turn. He actually didn't come out. He was up from up front. He actually check raised him all in. And if you're a moneymaker there, I think it screams like you have to call with ace queen there. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
I gotta tell you, I'd love to get it. We'll get a confirmation from 2+2, but I think you're off.
No, I think Ivey was from up front. Moneymaker was the pre-flop raiser. Ivey checked the 9s on a queen rag board. Moneymaker bet not that much with ace queen with trip queens. Ivey called, the turn was a 9. Ivey checked. Moneymaker bet again, and Ivey check raised them all in. And Moneymaker, the way he played fine.
Well, somebody let us know. Email us. Let me know exactly. We know the hand, obviously.
Yeah.
Just let us know the positions. I know somebody else had pocket 10s in the hand and threw it away on the flop after Ivey called with the 9s.
It looks like Lance is raised here with ace 8, and Mike is called with ace jack. 10-10-7 here. Lance continuation bets here to 300. Mike is thinking about this one here.
I'll call you once, check it to the river.
Now look at that. It says call you once, check at the river. Lance says no, and Mike calls. And the turn is an ace, and both players now have aces, and it goes check, check. And the river is a 4.
And the jack is going to play here, and you wonder.
Mike is going to come out and bet.
I was going to say, Mike's game now, he's gotten to the point where he does put value bets in there. And this is a great value bet.
Thanks very much.
He's going to bet, looks like, 600 here on the river. Mike says I have ace jack. Now, Heart's got there. Obviously, Lance can't beat a 10 or a real ace.
Yeah.
But Lance is going to pay Mike off, and ace jack is good. Wow.
And that's the magic of Mike there. He always gets paid off when he makes his hands.
Yeah.
Another part of Mike's game that he's really improved is he value bets now in the river with somewhat marginal hands. A hand like that, ace jack, really only a marginal holding. But he bets that because he knows he gets paid off by worse hands. Now, if you had ace jack there's probably not that much value for you betting ace jack because you probably wouldn't get paid off by a worse hand.
Right.
But Mike does. And time again he does. Button moves over to seat number 6. That's Alan. Haven't heard from him at all. He is quiet as a mouse tonight. Big winners tonight so far. I think the only winners right now really are Mike, Kirk, and Barry are our winners tonight. And the rest of the table is down.
Kirk is going to raise it up here to 120.
Can't see his cards. Does he have 8s?
8-6 offsuit.
Oh, wow.
And Mike is going to re-raise him with pocket 7s. Wow. Against Kirk.
Oh, I thought you were trying to do some kind of move.
Wow.
You got 1 life card. I got 2 sevens. I saw it one time. I sniffed it out, huh?
Kind of like, it's almost like a 6th sense there by Mike, sometimes reading out.
Yeah, he really wants to put pressure on players. He knows the odds of you having aces, you're only going to get pocket aces or pocket kings 1 out of 221 times.
Yeah.
Okay, so aces or kings, say 2 out of 221 times. You start thinking about it, going, well, how often is this guy really going to get a big hand?
And sniff butts. I'm just asking what part of the correlation. Are you like a German Shepherd?
How many kids you got?
You walk on 4 legs? What?
You guys hang out together, throw a few down, tell jokes.
No.
Now, Eastern Block here says, it always makes me laugh when Barton talk about how seldom they make quads and straight flushes in their life. And he says, tonight playing about 1.5 hours of low-stakes Omaha tournaments, I've already made quads 4 times and 1 straight flush. Now, you're playing Omaha. You get 4 cards.
Right, that's a little...
Yeah, obviously. I'm just wondering how many quads you make with in Hold'em.
I had enough balls to raise with 6-8 offsuit.
You don't have enough balls to follow through with it.
Eric is going to buy him for 1,000 more here.
1 bullet. That's all you can find.
85, yeah.
And
Fuck you, okay? I'm gonna bust your ass.
And a new thing for the night is we've been doing pretty much the last few nights. We've been kind of rating the players. And what I'd like to do is our rating system here at Live as a Bike is kind of do it like a -3, which is the best player in the game, somebody who's really bad for the game, or all the way up to a +3, somebody who's just the best player. You want to get into this game because of them. And rate these players for us. Let us know what you think these players are playing like. And that's kind of like it goes into game selection. And then obviously we'll give you our ratings later on of what we think these players are playing like. Mike's going to raise it in the cutoff seat with ace-3 offsuit. Boris is going to call on the 5s. Barry should not call this with king-10, but he's going to. Just a hand you just don't want to get involved with out of position. And we're going to see it about $320 to the flop. And wow, trip 10s, and Mike's got an ace. We're going to see fireworks here maybe. Now, Mike does not have a very big ace. He might not need it, though. And I got to tell you, the best way to play this if you're Barry probably would have been betting right into him, but he's going to check it to Mike.
I got ace-3 of diamond.
Now, Barry could probably raise this, and Mike might re-raise. We'll see how this plays out. And Barry's going to raise it. He's going to check raise him.
I thought we were friends, man.
You got an ace? Go for it, dude. I got 2 10s. So
and Barry tells him he's got 2 10s. Well, I guess maybe he said 3 10s. I don't know.
I can't talk about it right now.
Oh, and there's the ace on the turn. Oh, my. Oh, that is just killer. Oh, and Mike has now got aces full. Barry's got 10s full. But, Barry, you can't beat an ace. You got to know that. Your 10 just went up in flames. Oh, man. Now, against anybody else, obviously, this is an easy check and fold. But against it's Mike, he's sitting there going, well, what do I do? And Barry bets 700, and Mike makes it 1,400. Actually, he made it 1,700. And I think this is an easy laydown here. I mean, you got to lay this down. I know it's Mike, but come on, Barry.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Oh, this is incredible. I go over to the bathroom and I see this pot. This is amazing. What are we at, over 3,000 now?
Oh, well over 3,000. This pot is now, about $6,000. The river's a 4. Barry needed a 10 and only a 10. Did not get there, and Mike is going to win this. He's got the absolute nuts. Cannot lose to any hand.
So it's a $6,000 pot? And Barry's going to bet here again.
Are you kidding me?
He's going to bet 2,000. And Mike calls. And Mike's going to win with the ace. Wow.
Diggity, diggity, donkey.
Oh, man.
Ace is full, is that good? Go ahead, you want to give it to him? He does have 10s. I know.
Ace is a little higher.
And we're just going to be quiet here for a second and hear what they say.
I mean, you're not a bad guy, but you played bad. You know?
Wow. How were you calling me all the way with that 4 to begin with? You didn't get to the turn.
You played bad.
Let your ass be.
That is
Play like a
unbelievable,
donkey
dude.
and you get paid off.
Here, Lonzo, I'm going to post down tipper.
Now, Mike just called down the river. I got to say, I don't mind that just call. Do you? Although against Barry Woods, normally you would say there's no value to raising that. But at that point, if you move all in, and the pot is now 14, like I want to say like 12,000, 3,000 for Barry to call, I don't know if Barry gets away from a 10. I know everybody else does. I just don't know if Barry does at that point. Oh, man, and that's a huge, huge pot.
What's going on with you guys?
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that one.
And Barry's going to continue to, Mike is going to continue to rib Barry.
Ace with an ace. I hit an ace. I stayed in the hand. I bet and you
I
called.
had trips. You didn't get your. I bet mine, Mike. You play your hand up there.
He sounds upset.
You're a dick.
Lance is raised here with pocket
Carlos,
aces.
these chips are real warm. I'm serious. These are the warm ones. This is Barry's.
And I was in the bathroom for a second, Dave, and Carlos was in the urinal next to me. He might be coming in this game.
Did you just say that?
Hob is called.
We've got another one back here.
Are you kidding me?
And we got three-way action here.
I got Dallas.
Well, Lance has got the open here. Now, Mike has got a straight draw. Backdoor diamonds.
I got to tell you, if 5 comes off here, Hobbs should just go home.
It's a $400 bet here by Lance.
Yeah, Mike's in bad shape, obviously. Mike has a gut shot to the straight, but he needs one of Hobbs' 5s.
Now,
He's not going to. I imagine Hobbs is going to lay this down as well.
yeah, and I assume Hob is going to. You know, it's interesting. We had this email here from JJS2000. And the other thing about watching the video blog, I want everybody to respond to us to help us with it. Was it easy to follow the action? Because, I mean, we had the cards up there, and we verbally said the bet sizes. Because I kind of got a little disheartening email here about my hand with pocket nines, because he's emailed us something that doesn't make a whole lot of sense if he understood the betting amounts with my set of nines. He said, oh, bet 600 on the turn when the heart comes with my set of nines.
Right, right.
Of course, I only had 900 left in it.
It's really tough to follow that, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's obviously our fear of that. We'll see how it works
So
out.
see how, if everyone can actually follow the hand.
Let us know what you think. And I'm still waiting for the ratings. I want everybody to give us the what they think the ratings are tonight, from -3 up to +3.
Three-way action here. Checked around.
That was unbelievable. I mean, I'm like seriously just sitting here speechless.
Lance is backed into a queen here.
I mean, I'm completely dumbfounded.
And I mean, Mike is now up, what, like $6,000-7,000?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I'm completely dumbfounded. And Barry Woods was probably up close to 6,000 or 7,000, and he just gave it pretty much. I don't want to say all the way. Let's say he bet. He check raised the flop and got called. So that was 440 he lost. Plus 1,500 on the turn. 2,200. He lost 4,200 on that pot.
Wow.
So he's actually probably still.
That makes me happy.
He's actually probably still up or even for the night. But I mean, you got to look at it. And I know Mike does. I know Mike's crazy. There are a lot of plays Mike can make. I mean, nobody else in the world would get paid off except Mike. But man,
$70 raise here by Barry with King 9. Mike is called. Hav is called. Mike actually has Queen 10 of diamonds here. The flop comes Jack 10 6. So Mike does not have 2 pair here. But Mike is going to bet 200 with Queen 10 of diamonds.
I got Queen 10 of diamonds.
And Mike is telling the truth about his hand.
Okay, put them face down, hold them in your palm, and then shove them up your ass.
Did you hear that?
I missed that. What did he say?
But slowly.
Barry said, hold them in your palm, hold them face down, and then shove them in your ass.
You guys taste that?
You're a donkey and you make fun of everybody
You guys
else.
taste that?
You're a fucking donkey, Mike.
I didn't say anything. Did you see me whine about my kings,
Dave,
man?
no,
I played it wrong, Mike. That's all.
You did.
That's my fault, dude.
And people are saying that Barry actually checked dark there.
Yeah, I had a feeling he did.
But it doesn't matter, though. Really?
No, it doesn't. I still think it's correct
Yeah,
plays to
yeah.
check. You've got to realize the player you're playing against.
Yeah.
When you have queens full and the board is queen, queen, 7, 7, 9, and you have queen 3, you do not have the nuts. And can you get? I'll put it this way: can you get called by a hand worse than yours? Yes, you can against by certain players. But as a good player, a player like Hav, and Hav's obviously having a bad night tonight, but hey, everybody has bad nights. He's a good player, though. But would he call with a worst hand there? No, he's not going to. So there really is no value to betting it.
6-way action here. 8, 5, 7 here. Deuce 4 of diamonds over there for
How about a set
Mike.
of sevens for Allen?
Yep.
And Allen has played it patiently all night.
And Allen bets right into the set. He's going to bet, well, it's a pretty connected board. He bets 120. Mike quickly calls. And look at Barry Woods. He's got top and bottom.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Boris calls in between with ace 10, and Barry is going to raise it up here.
600?
He's going to make it 600. What a cooler hand here for Barry. Oh, no.
I mean, it's not a great flop for 8-5. I got to tell you, though.
I don't think Barry's going anywhere. I think
No, I
Allen-
don't think so either, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
not a good. You've got to realize, what other hands do people like to play? How about 8-7?
And I assume Allen is going to maybe come. I assume he's going to push here. You've got 2 callers in between.
No, that kind of board, you have to raise this.
Allen, you got to push here, buddy. Push it in. $600 raise. He doesn't have that much left, Dave.
Yeah,
It's an easy push here.
I think Allen is going to push this in. Well, what does he have left? He's got 800 plus the white. He's probably got, what, 1,400 left? Oh, he's got more chips on the right, though, doesn't he? No, he doesn't.
Come on, Allen, push it in. And he's just going to call here, Dave. He just calls.
Well, that's going to get rid of Mike, isn't it? Well, actually, I don't know. Against Barry,
Wow.
he might stick in there and see if he can win himself a big pot.
How does Allen not push there?
And Mike is actually good if the 6 comes out. Obviously, it's not a great card, but if the 6 comes out, he is good. How is Boris in there?
I mean, Allen,
How is Boris in there?
I mean, there's so many action killers that can come. Allen actually needs a high blank card here to get his money in. Because there's so many things that can come. A diamond. Well, Mike's going to get out of there.
And you know what? When Barry called, when Barry raised that, I'm surprised Mike didn't call. But you know, Mike might have thought.
Wait a minute, Dave. What's Boris doing? He's going to make the call.
And Boris is what, almost drawing dead here?
This pot's over $2,000 here, folks. And the turn's a diamond, and it might kill all the action.
Well, Boris has got the ace of diamonds. It's not going to kill anything. Allen's going to move in here, I think. No, it checks around.
Checked around. Barry didn't bet, and the river now is a 4.
All in.
And now Allen moves in with the 1 card straight on board. If anybody had called with the 6 with an open end, they would have got there. 3 diamonds. This
If you're-
man is insane.
I got to tell you, if you're Barry, this is an easy laydown with Allen betting. No draw did not get there. There is not a draw that did not get there. You look at
This
it.
is crazy.
If Allen called you the 6, he beat you. If Allen called you the diamonds, he beat you.
Yeah.
You cannot win this hand if you're Barry. And he throws it away. Nice laydown by Barry Woods. And you know what? If
And Allen shows Mike the set of 7s.
Yeah, I guess I'll show everybody. Go ahead, Jim.
How did he not push on the flop? I mean, Barry is lucky that he didn't lose all that money. Wow.
And Corporation Mike is a little upset, obviously, because he would have made the flush on the turn, would have won himself a nice-sized pot. But I think he correctly laid it down because he probably thought there's a chance he was dominated in diamonds. Somebody else might have had a big diamond.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I love Allen, Dave, but I mean, that is just an automatic push with those stack sizes, isn't it?
Yeah, I got to tell you, we've seen There's some really good poker players at this table,
Yeah.
but we've seen some pretty bad poker tonight.
We've seen some terrible poker.
I mean,
tonight.
Eric's pocket kings. He'll be the first to admit that he played that awful. Barry is with the 10 there. I mean, definitely overplayed that.
Yeah.
We saw Hav obviously get mixed up and try to bluff at a pot where he probably should have just given up a spade draw.
Yeah.
Against
Kirk.
Against specifically Kirk. You know, why get involved where Kirk's probably got an ace.
Wow, I mean, Barry's lucky he doesn't. I mean, Allen didn't double through him.
Yeah.
All the money goes in on the flop.
And then we see Allen there obviously as well.
I mean, Allen, it's funny. Like he says, he slow plays the sets, but not when there's a connected board. But you get a raise, why not push?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Now, in Allen's defense, I will say that he probably would not have gotten the overcall from Boris.
Well,
Although if Allen bets the turn, Boris is going to call him with the ace of diamonds. I mean, Allen really did make the minimum on that hand.
Barry here.
Can't lay this hand down.
Oh, excuse me. Hav is raised with 9-3 of spades, and Mike calls.
That was sick, man.
And I guess they're just going to check it down here. Well, Hav's got what a huge flop. I mean, here's the inherent problem. And now, and Hav bets now. I mean, it's the inherent problem with when they don't bet against each other. But
Right.
Hav did bet there on the turn.
And I think you have to bet that at least to protect your hand. You don't want some random ace to come out and beat you.
I mean, all the action was killed. And then, I got to tell you, the river bet by Allen, Dave, everything's there. The diamonds, Boris, you almost got to put him either on a diamonds or a 6, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that is unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, the only play there on the river for Allen really is check and crying call.
Wow.
Check and call. The only problem is if you don't put money in there, you're inducing a bluff.
Yeah.
And if somebody bluffs at it, are you going to throw away You're going to throw it away for a $700 bet on the river?
100.
8-6 of diamonds. Hav's going to raise it up with the gap-suited connector here.
Ace-king here for Kirk, right next to him.
And he's going to at least call this, I'm sure. No!
He folds.
Open folds, ace-king in position.
Yeah.
Ace-king, we talk about the value of it in no-limit hold'em. It can be a tough hand to play. It's not a hand that usually wins much money against a good player.
3 players.
Three-way action here.
And Hav has got an open-ended straight draw here. The board is 3, 4, 5, 2 spades. And it's at the good side of it, too. If a 7 were to come out, anybody with a 6 would lose to him. There are 2 spades out there, though.
Well, Lance is totally missed here.
Yeah, an easy lay down for Lance, obviously, unless he's going to make a move. And you wonder if he's thinking about it. No, he's not going to get involved. And Mike's really missed this as well, and he's going to throw it away.
I just don't understand. Allen bets right into the set, Dave, and then you get what you want with that stack size. Unbelievable. Let's take a look at another chip count here. Wow.
You get all your money in on the flop with the best hand.
Unbelievable.
Just calling, trying to bring more callers in with a flush draw or straight draw.
And that's what Mike is telling him right now.
I don't like it. And it's already a big buy.
32,000 on
Yeah.
the table, almost 33 now. Mike's got the table covered with 11,000 pretty much. Barry down to 4,500. Hav is rebought, and he's got 4,500.
Let's take a look at the differences here. Mike's up 6,500. Barry is only down 500.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was a huge winner before that one big pot,
Yeah.
and then obviously another loss there to Allen. Allen is up 2,000.
But Allen should have another 1,000 in his pocket there.
Probably.
He should have all of Barry's money.
Well, not yet.
Or, 1,000 more of Barry's money.
Hav has made a little bit of a comeback. He's only down 2,500 now.
Yeah.
5 players.
You're going to see his 5 ways limped around. $100 pot. Flop is ace, jack, deuce. And seat number 6, Allen's got ace-king on the button. And he did not raise. Allen did not raise that on the button.
I still got an outside shot, man.
And it checks to Allen, and you know he's going to bet it, and he does.
150.
And he makes it 150 to go. Now, Mike's got an ace, and he checked it in first position. And he's going to check raise Allen.
Wow.
Now, Mike has backdoor spade draw. You can also catch a 4, obviously.
Now, once Allen calls here, can you just shut down if you're Mike?
Yeah, Mike, the thing is, Allen doesn't usually bet a draw. He's usually betting a hand.
He's going to re-raise here. Yeah, and Mike's got his information.
And that's the one thing with Allen. You see how some players get paid off and some players don't. Allen never really bets or raises on the come. He never bets on the draw. He always bets on the made hand.
He wouldn't necessarily ever bet seeing kind of spades there on that flop, Dave.
No, exactly.
Well, somebody did link up, and you were correct. Ivy was in position that hit. I thought he check raised. but he just called.
He called the flop bet. Now, and
Yes.
Moneymaker's credit, he actually bet his ace-queen right into the board, right into the two players.
Yep.
Got called by Ivy, but not by the other player.
Yep.
And then obviously, and I think the board came out queen, queen, 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Queen 6. I just looked at
Queen,
it.
queen, 6,
Yeah.
okay. And then a 9, and then the ace.
Yep.
Obviously, similar to tonight, we kind of saw that where Barry flopped trip queens, and Hav caught his set of 9s on the turn. But then, somewhat got counterfeited on the river, I suppose you could say, but not really counterfeited.
Yeah.
Killed, either way you could say it. Barry's got pocket 8s, and he's limped in. But that's a hand I don't mind limping in with in early position if Mike's on the button. Because this is a hand where I can fully expect Mike to raise, and I don't mind if he raises. I can call this.
Was Barry going to pull the limp re-raise? No, he calls.
I want to see a flop here. I don't really want to limp re-raise and just... I want to see a flop. I want to hit my 8, and I want to win a big pot.
Boris is bleeding off chips with his pre-flop hand selection here, Dave.
Yeah, and he's playing it like a limit hold'em game, isn't he?
He's got about a $500 pot here. Mike, the pre-flop raiser. King 10-6 here, and Barry's got the best hand, but how does he know it?
Yeah. And I don't mind. The thing is, you don't have to win every single time you have the best hand. Sometimes you can go, you know what? I have pocket 8s. I'm out of position. Why can't I just check and fold this one?
And I got to tell you, I mean, I like Barry's game, and I like him being aggressive, but I don't know if I bet right there. I mean, I guess it's into Alan and into Mike and maybe to get information, but like you said, is that the flop you're looking for when you limp in with 8s?
Oftentimes, if I have 8s there, I'm really looking for, I'm looking for
And
an
look
8.
at this, Mike is feeling him out. He raises to 700 here. And if Barry folds, Mike is going to show him his cards. I mean, Mike has Barry's number tonight, Dave.
I got ace king, Barry. I don't want you to lose another pot, man. I still feel bad about the last one.
He's so full of shit, it's ridiculous.
And Barry's going to lay it down. And I guarantee you Mike's going to show this one. There it is. He shows it. He shows the 6-7 of diamonds.
Yeah, I'm sure he feels bad.
I'm going to raise you a third pair and know where they're at.
Oh, man. Interesting. Pajedo on 2+2 said, quote-unquote, quote of the night from Bart, I go to the bathroom and I see this pot. He said, I think I said this line in high school a few times, although in a different context. There you go.
I still think the best one that bewildered me. I went to the bathroom and saw Carlos in the urinal next to me.
Nice hand or nothing, huh? I thought I'd go fuck yourself, Mike. Does that work for you?
I mean, were you talking to him?
I said, oh, are you going to play on the show tonight?
I mean, were you guys both peeing at the same time while you were doing this? I've had this discussion.
No, I actually saw him in the sink.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like that. If I'm peeing, I'm in front of the urinal, don't talk to me.
Hey, look at this. We get an email here from the Greek poker god. We'll get to this in a second. He was with his ratings, Dave.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Kirk is going to make it 120 to go here with ace-king. And Mike here is called with king-10, and Mike is dominated. Let's see if a king comes out here, Dave. It's about a $300 pot. Oh, braggy. 7-4-3. Kirk is going to bet here, and he's going to take it down. So, George says,
Let's
hey,
see his
guys,
ratings. Okay.
my ratings for the players tonight.
For what it's worth. He gives Eric a +1.
But in a smaller game, -1. And I actually think
Okay.
that's pretty accurate.
He gives Barry a 0. But after the hand with Mike, maybe I'm being a little generous.
Yeah.
He gives Hob a -3. He says, I have to, though. He is, after all, my bitch. He says Kirk is a +1. He says Lance is a -1. He says Alan's a +100. So we'll say Alan's +3 in his
Right.
book. He says Mike's -2 to -3. Kenny -1. And he says, see, 10, same as Alan.
And that would be Boris.
196.
Raise.
Mike's got ace-queen here. He's going to raise it up.
120.
He's going to make it 120 to go.
Very big blind you're raising.
And Barry Woods is going to make the call here in seat 2.
Players.
And what's Barry going to call
We
it?
need to see the cards. Well, 8-4-5 here on the flop. Barry's got ace-6, and it goes check, check. The turn's a deuce.
Draw my draw.
Check, check again here.
He's got a double gutter.
And the river's a jack.
Yeah,
Check.
Ace queen.
And Mike's going to win it.
Barry needed a 7, a 6, or a 3 on the turn,
Yeah.
on the river. So according to this, if you look at the table, George would look at this game and go, okay, well, +1, 0, then -3, so you got -2 to the game. Then Kirk's +1, Lance is still -2. Alan and seat number 9 are +3 each. That makes it +4. Mike being -2, Kenny being -1, that would make this game like a +1, according to George.
Yeah, but the problem, though, is I don't think you can always take that directly because the guys that are the big pluses don't have any money. And that makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Oh, of course. Well, I'm saying these are George's ratings.
Right.
For every different player, there are some players that really like to play in an action game, and the ratings are really they're really dependent on you.
Well, limped around here to Hob, and he's got kings.
Bears chips goes up exponentially.
Now, Hob's going to raise it 100.
No, everybody listening to this show knows I love Hobbs' game. I'm only wondering if Hobbs' game is tonight, after he lost that first big pot against Barry, if a couple of his decisions, let's say the next 15 or 20 minutes, were a little blurred.
And look at this. Barry calls because I think he wanted to bring, I think that Mike called to bring Barry into the hand, and Barry called, and Barry flops 2 pair, and he bets right in
You
here
know
with
what?
the ace.
It's an easy laydown for Hobb. It really is. Why get involved?
He knows that Barry's betting into him.
Yeah, I mean, you got the king of diamonds. I mean, I guess you can call one time, but oftentimes, if you have kings and ace flops, it's an easy way to get away from it, and Hobb throws it down. It's just not his night tonight.
And again, it's funny that we say that Mike doesn't bet against Hob, but because Barry completed, I think Mike called because he wanted to play against Barry.
Oh, of course. Yeah, not even a question.
Yeah.
Mike's not going to call that heads up.
Yeah.
That's funny. I mean, Hobbs' game, I normally would rate him a -2 or a -3, but I saw like 15 minutes of kind of questionable play there. You wonder if he's maybe only a -1 tonight.
You missed him?
What was his rating for Kirk?
No way.
+1. Okay.
No way. How sick is that?
And okay, Barry is 0, I guess. Okay.
They're going to chop this one up, Kirk and
We're up by
Hob.
5. You made 2. It's 103.
You can visit our MySpace page, Dave. Go to myspace.com/livetobike and become our friend. And you still have yet to tell the story about how you got kicked off of MySpace. What happened?
I don't know. I just got kicked off.
You didn't pull your own thing down?
I might have. I don't remember.
You just decided one day it was just kind of stupid. And you
It wasn't there. I was like, okay, whatever. This thing's good. My MySpace is live at the bike. I'm just there,
Hob's got ace-king here on the button. Get folded around to him. Mike straddle, and Hob is going to raise it up here. He makes it 200 to go.
Line, dude. 0.1, I think.
Dallas is?
Phoenix didn't score, yeah.
No way.
Serious.
I mean,
Look.
2 free throws and I win it.
This is your man right here, man.
200 is the bet.
You got a lot of money riding on him. Oh,
Oh,
automatic
tied
right here.
now. How sick is this?
Automatic
I
right
think
here.
Mike's got some money in the basketball game.
Yeah, which side is he betting on? Do you know?
I don't know.
Can you tell from the
Oh,
conversation?
this is unbelievable.
You got 9?
Yeah, they are sick.
Point spread, and I think it's coming down to 2 last free throws.
Mike might have a bet with somebody and gave somebody an extra.
Once again, we're live at the bike. I'm David Trutman here with Bart Hansen. You're watching No Limit Hold'em. Lines are 10 and 20. I want to say hi to Mo's friend, who's watching in England.
Yeah.
Hi to Mo Yazdi.
Now they're going to foul. No, they're not. They gave up.
Oh, that's so sick. They let Nash just come down. I mean, obviously they're not going to play deep.
Button moves over here to Kirk in seat 4, Dave.
What a beat. That was sick. Well, I got lucky yesterday. I had Miami.
Whether you go by our rating system or any other rating system you go by, I think it is important to try to figure out when you're choosing a game, is this the game that's right for you?
This one's going to get chopped around. We're already halfway through the show. We've had kind of started off slow, but we've had some crazy hands.
Yeah, a couple of big hands here. Some really odd hands. I mean, hands that literally left me speechless. I'm sitting there with the. I mean, I still thinking about that King 10. I mean, the Ace 10 10 Ace hand. It was just. Oh man.
It's strange. And then I'm thinking about the Allen hand. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but the fact that he bet right into the set and then just called
Yeah.
was unbelievable.
And the funny play there is if Barry actually had quad 10s, the play was actually to move all in.
Yeah.
Definitely move all in. Because Mike's going to call you with an ace. Mike was probably thinking on the river that it was chopped up, right?
Yeah. Barry's going to raise it up here to 110 out of seat 2. Come on, Barry. Show us your cards there, buddy. I mean, is he doing this out of spite?
Oh, he's not mad at us. He's just mad in general.
Yeah, 5-6 off suit here. He raised it up to 110. We got four-way action.
4 players.
Flop comes out 5 deuce deuce here. It's missed everybody.
Give props to Ray out there. Ray's the one that's actually touching him on the shoulder every time they forget to put the cards in the hole.
Actually, excuse me, Barry's flopped the best hand. He's got top pair. He's going to bet 400.
Yeah, 2 pairs of the 6 kicker.
And he's going to take it.
And it's always that that kind of evil, you make one mistake and that hand just kind of sits in your head and you keep thinking about it and it just sits there and it clouds your judgment for the next hour or so. The best poker players can really get rid of that as quickly as possible. Move on, play one hand at a time.
The other thing that we've noticed, at least over the last couple nights, and I think over the past few weeks, is that people get into this, they get into this mindset that they've got a big hand, like Eric did, and he re-raised with kings. And then they bet one time with a rag board, and Mike calls. Now they think they're going to get tricky and check raise Mike on the turn. But Mike isn't calling with absolutely nothing on the flop, usually, unless he's setting up a play, which is, of course, possible. And now Mike is taking the cards.
Yeah,
we saw it last night. We saw it tonight.
Yeah, I just think with a big pocket pair like that, I think you have to bet your hands. You can't allow Mike to get the free cards.
Yeah.
His image actually gives him a lot of free cards because people are always expecting him to bet. So he can take those free cards when he wants to.
Button moves over here to That's Allen in seat number 6, Dave.
I think Mike's going to take a break here for a second. Watch the end of the Dallas-Phoenix.
Of course, that's going to change the makeup of the game.
Oh, definitely. And Kirk's out of the game, too, so that's really going to change it.
Oh, yeah. Again, we want everyone to send us over the weekend emails about what you think about the video blog and see how easy it is to follow. And again, we were verbally talking about the bet sizes here as opposed to putting them up and see if, you could follow along.
Yeah.
Limped around here. Ace, King, 6. C5 there, Lance. He's in the cutoff with King, Jack suited. Without Mike in the game, I think that probably raised that up a lot.
Yeah, even with Mike in the game, I'd probably raise that up. I'm in position. I don't mind seeing that hand to a raise.
And Hav is just going to dry bluff at this, Dave. He figures maybe nobody has an ace here. With his image, it's tough for anybody to call without an ace. And this actually is going to get it done because of his tight image.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not big components of total bluffing.
Yeah, but in this case, you look at it and you go, well, you figure Lance probably would have raised the big ace.
Right.
So there's only one player really to get around, and that's Allen. So why not take a shot at it? Hav picks himself up a little pot. George Giorgio, our Greek poker god, what is he doing at home? Why isn't he here?
I don't know.
Yeah, you know what?
Well, he's at home. He's at Hav's home, right?
Yeah, they're roommates.
Yeah, yeah. Or housemates.
Yeah. 2 guys and a wife.
He's always had that problem.
2 guys and a girl, right? Is that a movie? Or was that 2 girls and a guy?
2 girls and a guy.
Yeah, yeah. 3 guys and a baby, right?
Mike back in the game. He posts dead here behind the button.
Kenny Wynn is on the button here.
Now, if you miss the blind, you can actually post dead behind. You got to put the small blind and the big blind. And the small blind actually goes into the middle of the pot. It's dead. And your big blind stays in front of you.
That's nothing.
And Kenny Wynn is going to raise it on the button with pocket deuces. And he's going to make it, what, $220? $220 on the button. Kenny Wynn is kind of using his image to pick himself up some dead money here. And you know what? He picks himself up some, I want to say about $100.
Yeah.
That's kind of Kenny Wynn in a nutshell. He'll play it tight, he'll play it tight, he'll play it tight, and then he'll pick himself up a pot here, pick a pot up here, kind of keep himself afloat until he picks up a big hand.
Button's going to move over here to seat 9. Sykes on 2+2 says, Dave, what are you smoking? I count maybe only 3 decent players. Barry, Corporation Mike, and maybe Kenny Wynn. But the rest of these players would get absolutely crushed at anything above 400 no limit online, much less 10-20. And like I said, I'll keep quiet on this subject because I don't want to alienate a lot of our viewers. But you go ahead and ram it.
Well, I just no. You can. Anybody can have their own opinion of who you think is a good player, who you think is not a good player. It's just funny that they would say Barry, Kenny, Wynn, and Mike. I'm surprised they wouldn't include Hob in that group.
Yeah. 10-9-7 here with a couple spades. It was limped around, checked around, turns a 9. Well, Allen didn't raise there in somewhat late position with ace-queen, and now Eric is going to come out and bet on the 7. He's got the best hand. I just thought you would, of course, be a little bit irritated by the fact that all these online people think that.
No, I actually think this is a good game. I really do. I mean, if you wanted my ratings, George, the Greek Poker God, came out with a rating of +1 to the total table. I think the ratings are more like, man, I'd say it's more like +4, +5. I mean, I think this is a really good game.
Yeah.
I mean, Corporation Mike almost makes half the table add a +1 to each player. I mean, there just aren't many players at the table that are scary.
Button moves over here to seat 1. Mike's going to raise it up here with an ace-10 offsuit. He makes it 120 to go here, Dave.
Pretty good hand. I gotta look at it. Was that 120?
And Hobbs going to call here with a king-jack offsuit. And again, I don't really know. I mean, maybe Hobbs just thinks if they're going to check it down, Hobbs just thinks his hand is better, right? There's the ace.
No, they're going to bet it.
Okay.
They are going to bet it, okay.
Mike bets 200 here.
No good?
Let's see, Andrew Lichtenberger's ratings now. He goes, okay, let's see. He's giving Eric +1. Says he seems scared since he recently moved up.
That's a good point in this game.
Maybe, yeah. Barry, giving him a +1, gives Hav a 0. He said he seems a bit on tilt, even though he's probably still one of the best at the table. Kirk +2. He says he's too straightforward. Lance, he says a 0. He doesn't know much about him, but he seems decent. Allen +1. Straightforward, but he mixes it up a bit more than he used to. He's definitely improved a lot more in the past few weeks. This is all obviously Andrew's email. Mike gives Mike a 0. Gives Kenny Wynn a -2. And he gives Boris +3. Says limit dunk.
Again, though, I think that this rating system needs to be somewhat revised in the fact that when you are, say, looking at a table using this rating system, and again, this is a rating system that you've come up with in a variation of someone else's rating system, right? I think you almost need to look at whatever the total number is in proportion to what those high positive numbers are with what those guys' chip stacks are.
Of course.
I mean, Boris is a +3, but he only has 1,200 in front of him.
Right, and if Boris gets short stack and he's $400 in front of him, who cares?
Exactly. Yeah.
But still, like, $1,200 is nothing to cry about. I'll take it.
4-way action here.
Top 2 for Eric.
And Kenny's got a pretty big hand here, too, with Jack 9.
2 hearts out there, and he's going to take a shot at it.
Eric is definitely going to raise this. He makes it 400.
And I think Kenny's going to throw it away very quickly.
Trying to figure out how much Eric has left here.
Now, the only thing I will say is Kenny can continue only because he knows Eric probably is not raising on the come. Right. Eric probably has a made hand.
And Kenny moves all in.
What?
Wow. He's moved all in here. I don't know if Eric can get away from this with these stack sizes. Wow. Unbelievable. He's open-ended. He's got top pair. And let's see how much more it is. The pot's 1,000 in dead money, plus what is the raise here by Kenny?
I got to tell you, this is an odd play. Does Eric raise?
Well, Eric isn't going to fold this, is he?
Well, it's Kenny Wynn. I think he puts him on pocket 8s, but I don't think he can throw it away.
He calls. He calls. And he's in good shape here. Here we go to the turn. Turn is a 6. The river is an ace. No one has a heart, and Eric's going to take it down there with jacks up.
Eric doubles up there.
Yep.
And I got to say, I rarely see Kenny Wynn make a mistake.
Yeah.
But I think that was a mistake by Kenny Wynn. And the only reason I think it was a mistake was he has to realize how much money Eric has left.
Right.
Now, if Eric had a lot more money there might be some fold equity.
I mean, the only thing you can say about fold equity there is for some reason, I mean, maybe Eric raises there with King-Jack or Ace-Jack.
We know Eric, though. He rarely does that, though.
With Queen-Jack, I think Eric still calls. Queen-Jack, there's no fold equity, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, Eric rarely raises. He probably calls.
Especially if he's stepping up to this game for the first time. Maybe.
It's also Kenny Wynn betting.
Yeah.
You got to think of the fact that Kenny Wynn is betting, Eric is raising Kenny Wynn, and he's putting in almost half of his chip stack. Once again, I mean, Kenny Wynn rarely makes mistakes, but it's kind of the theme of the night. Some good players tonight are making some mistakes. Eric doubles up there. Nice double up.
Button's going to move over to Hob in C3.
I mean, I'd almost put Kenny Wynn on one of two hands there. One of three hands. I didn't think he has the same hand as me. I'd either put him on pocket eights, or I'd put him on king, queen of hearts, where he's open-ended with the heart draw.
Or some sort of heart and straight draw, heart and pair, something like that.
Right.
Pocket queens over here for Hobbies on the button.
Like king, nine of hearts, something like that. Yeah, okay. I'll buy that.
I mean, because at that point, Kenny knows he's just going to put it in because he's not that much.
That's an okay play. You're actually a favorite on that flop, even against two pair. But I think there, I mean, Kenny would have to know that he's about a 2.5 to 1 dog.
Now, Barry is raised here to 120 with King Deuce offsuit. And Hob is just going to call here. I usually am going to re-raise there against Barry's cutoff raise because he doesn't necessarily raise with a good hand there. In this case, it's King Deuce.
Hob playing the trap game here a little bit.
Well, that gets Mike in behind him. And we're going to see it three ways. Well, it's an overpair here for Hob.
Yeah, Mike's got bottom pair.
And Barry is not going to bet. It's going to get checked to Hob, and he's going to bet.
And that should do it. Nobody's going to call this. Funny, Mike probably would call Barry's bet here with a 6.
Yeah.
But he's not going to get involved with Hob.
You know, I don't want to get into this too much, Dave. I think this is probably another subject for a video blog. It just popped into my head. But sometimes when you're on a big draw, like I had a couple of days ago where I had ace, king of diamonds, and the flop was 7, 6, 8 with 2 diamonds. There was dead money in the pot. A guy had re-raised me pre-flop with jacks. He bet the flop and I moved in. He turns over 2 jacks and he hems and haws and hems and haws. And even though I am a favorite there to win the hand, I actually want him to fold.
Of course you do.
Because the amount of dead money, I'm only, say, 60% to win the total pot, but I'm 100% to win the dead money if he folds.
No, of course you want
And
to.
a lot of people don't quite understand that. They think, well, you want to call because you're favorite.
Nah,
but remember
yeah.
the amount of dead money that's in there.
No, you look at it this way, and you're not that much of a favorite.
Right.
If you look at it this way, in a sense, let's say you were to make that play 10 times.
Right.
Let's say half the time you win the dead money.
Right.
And let's say the other 5 times
It
you win
runs
the
out.
hand 3 times, you
Right.
lose the hand 2 times.
Yeah.
Okay. But the 5 times where you're winning dead money risk-free,
Absolutely.
that's what you want. I mean, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
I think that is a kind of a good topic we might go over, said on our video blog. Hob's going to raise it up here with 4 or 5 of hearts.
That's generally why you want to be betting and not
Right.
calling, because you're betting, you've got the fold equity.
Right.
When you're calling, your hand has to hold up. People still don't understand it. They don't understand that. That's the reason why callers don't win money in this game.
So Hob is raised, and it looks like Mike just called here with ace-king. Is that right, over there in seat 7? So just a call, and I guess that's going to get Barry in here with pocket 3s.
I would definitely call if I'm Barry here with pocket 3s. Why not? Barry's got plenty of money to call this. Wow, but he throws it away.
It will be harder for you to go without.
Here we go. We're
And
heads
this is the problem with when you're playing against your buddies. Oh man.
And Hob's got trip 4s.
And this is the problem when you play against your buddies like this.
Yeah.
Hob would Hob would have to bet this even if he missed it though.
Right.
And he'd have to bluff Mike out. And they're going to play hard
I think
against
they
each
are
other.
playing against each other.
Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Hob says, like it's not 4-4 king. He shows him a 4. Well, obviously, they all know each other at the table, but it's sometimes. I mean, I don't think Barry's going to feel uncomfortable. If somebody new, it might feel uncomfortable to come in there, too, in between. The two guys that are not betting against each other.
Yeah, I mean, I'm friends with Hob. I'm friends with Barry. I'm friends with most of the players that play here at the Bicycle Casino. Obviously, this is where I play more often than not. But you play hard, you know, and then, you know, you say goodnight, and that's the end of it. You don't worry about it. Nothing personal. Unless, of course, somebody makes it personal and starts singing a song to me like Diggity Diggity Donkey.
I think my blind has a read.
Mike's got pocket 6s here. Email here from Niels van der Linden. He says, is Alan some kind of tax refund? What the hell at that set of 7s hand? Well, I was a little bit dumbfounded as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that river card, he can only get called by a hand that beats him, and obviously another hand that was somewhat strong on the flop folds on the river, which was 2 pair.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that was proof. That was proof there. You wonder, can you get called by hand worse than yours? Well, Barry didn't call you with 2 pairs, so
Yeah.
I guess the answer is no.
That's right. The board could become so scary.
Emphatically no.
Yeah.
Not 1,000. 10,000 on the flop, I might have to call.
Yeah, no shit.
It's funny, sometimes we watch our Friday show or our Wednesday show or any show, and we see some great poker. Now, tonight it's been a really entertaining poker, but tonight's really been a lot of mistake-laden poker. Obviously, it was easier for us here in the booth.
Limped around here.
4 players.
4-way action. Queen, Jack 10 here, a couple clubs. Well, Hobbs got King 3.
Yeah, he's open-ended.
Now Mike is going to totally dry bluff in here.
Yeah, Mike likes to drive bet. He likes to bluff into these kind of boards because he figures somebody really has to have something pretty good
And Hobb calls.
to call.
Well, Hobb picks a spade draw up now, and he's got a straight.
And this is one of those times where if I'm Hobb, I'm really pushing, and I think he's annoyed.
All right, Barry.
I tell you, if I bet that
Yeah.
and somebody raises me, I'm re-raising huge. Because if they've got a king, I am free
I'm
rolling.
gonna pay a lot of big pots with big hands, and then
No, yours.
It's kind of emotion here. Post down temper.
Button moves over to seat number 7. That's Mike.
It's kind of a circular motion. You give it to Barry, Barry gives it to me.
that's the trend so far. You like that? That's early, man.
Alan,
I just want to know who's holding my
Button moves over here to Mike in seat 7. And email here from Sammy C. More about that hand with the moneymaker hand in the World Series in 2004. Jason Lester also had 10-10.
It was Jason Lester, right? Okay.
Yeah. James Ross has emailed us and said, what's the biggest game you've ever had on this site that's aired? Any big names that have played? Well, James, I would recommend you click on the archives banner, top left-hand corner of the screen. $14.95 gets you access to every show we've ever done, and we've had big games, and we've had big names. We've had Barry Greenstein commentating here. Doyle Brunson, Kenna James has played on the show over 10 times. Johnny Chan is, Barry Greenstein's played on the show.
Michael Mizrachi, the Grinder,
Yeah.
Kathy Liebert. You name it, they've been on the show. We've also had, I would say, our biggest limit game we've ever had is a 200-400 limit game.
300-600.
Actually, 300-600, thank you.
Yeah.
And we've also had and we have our whale game, 50-100 blind, no limit hold'em game. And we've had some huge pots.
Checked around on the flop, limped around pre-flop. Allen now is going to bet 80 here with pocket 7s. You know what? He's got the best hand.
I mean, if you like to see high-stakes cash game at its best, this is really where it's at. I know GSN has the high-stakes poker, but that is edited, not live. You don't see the whole story.
Would it just kill you to honestly say, Barry, that I'm just a good player? Would that just kill you?
If I believed it, I would say it. I just don't believe it.
Honestly, a new rule. No,
Honestly, okay, you're a good player. You're not great. You're more lucky than a lot of people, but I don't think you're a great player.
Well, you already acknowledged that you were born lucky, so
More lucky.
so combine that with.
Coming out of the womb, man, I just came out lucky, you know what I mean? Face up, man, just lucky as hell.
Right out of the corporation mom's womb.
There you go.
Yeah.
Email here from somebody. Anonymous
George
says,
Georgie.
oh, it is George.
Yeah,
He says, best way to play Mike, just bet your hands all the time. If you flop the monster against your aces, so be it. You can't read him because money has almost no value to him.
Right.
Just play your hand for the most part. Don't try and read him into what he might have.
Yeah, look at this Hobb here, Dave. He limped in with deuce 3 offsuit from up front.
Kind of lay down to you tonight.
And again, I don't know if Hobb was playing really well if you would play that hand, Dave, from up front. You know.
We haven't played a pot all night.
Yeah, you wonder.
Sitting there.
And Allen is going to call, and he's dominated, and this could be it for Allen if a jack flops out here.
Because the table was crazy. I figured
See how much out of
By the way, he also says, I pay half the rent, you guys. You're making it sound like I take care of his wife when he's not here. Hey, we didn't say that. You did. I would never say that.
Allen checks, Mike bets, shows ace jack, and he's going to take it down.
no one raised. I'm like,
Button moves over to Boris in seat number 9. Boris obviously trying to make that transition from limit hold'em to no limit hold'em. This might not be the best game to jump into if you're trying to make that transition. Probably rather jump into, say, a $200 game or maybe a $300 to $500 game.
And Pajedo says, tell George out there, who's obviously watching the show, he gets a lot of props from the viewing community for his commentating.
Yeah, George did a great job last week.
Well, maybe if he's down here on Monday, he can. Well, it is going to be a smaller game, so I don't necessarily know if he's interested. Although, who knows? We still might have a 500 because it is tournament time.
And sometimes the best action is in the smaller games.
Yeah.
We see tonight's game. Tonight's game's actually pretty slow, even though it's our big game.
120.
And Mike has got a real hand. He's going to make it 120 to go here.
No, Allen has limped in with jacks.
Actually, excuse me, you're right. It's Allen who's got the jacks.
Right, I was
Yeah.
going to say, is Allen going to limp re-raise? I know he does that with kings and queens. Does he do it with jacks?
Mike has ace deuce. And Lance just gets away from ace nine and diamonds there.
Again?
And Allen calls, and you wonder if a couple of overcards come to those jacks. Is Allen just going to check fold?
Well, here it is. Well,
How about two of them?
well, Allen's probably going to call this with a gut shot. Watch.
Goes check, check.
How about a queen?
Well, the turn's a diamond.
And Allen does not have a diamond in his hand.
Mike bets 200. I don't know if Allen's going anywhere here. Well, he doesn't have a diamond. And Lance would have made the nut. What a monster. And Allen folds.
Ace nine of diamonds, right?
Yeah, monster flop there for Lance.
Yeah, really. And Allen's right. Hey, give Allen credit at least. You see some players getting, they're married to their jacks or their queens there. Allen said, okay, bad flop, I throw it away.
6 times a blind against me.
Looks like Allen's having a piece of carrot cake and some cup of coffee over there. There it is.
Carrot cake here is actually really good.
Oh, the frosting. It's like that cream. It's like almost like a. Well, I like carrot cake frosting better than cheesecake.
Yeah.
Because it's like a cream cheese frosting. It's,
I like it.
it's so good.
Button moves over to seat number 1.
How was that prosciutto sandwich on homemade focaccia bread that one of the floor men brought you this afternoon?
Oh, the prosciutto?
Yeah.
That was really good, man.
Yeah.
That hit the spot.
Yeah.
Prosciutto, nice Italian meat, Italian cheese.
Provolone?
I don't know exactly what they put on.
Mike's going to raise it up here with 7-5 offsuit. He's going to take it down. He's got about an hour left in the show.
All the time you raise.
Dave, you're like a black thumb, like in the world of electronics. Whatever you touch, it just goes off. You just broke our action cam.
Very lucky. You didn't hear the story?
I didn't even touch it. Did a post here from John E. He says, hey, Bart and Dave, you guys were talking a while back about maybe Dave dealing on Live the Bike one night. Any further on this idea? And I'd love to do it. I've got to make sure it's okay with the players, obviously. I'd be on the table dealing and with a mic and having fun with them all, obviously. I've got to make sure that nobody takes it too personal that they lose.
Yeah, I don't know
if
if you could really deal in a game that would be that big.
I'd have to do it in a big game, though, because that's the only players we really know. What am I going to do in a $200 game?
Yeah, but what are you going to rub it into Barry Woods like after a beat?
I would have to.
Mike.
That's the whole point of me dealing.
Yeah.
Barry would turn over. I'd have to sing along with Mike. Diggity diggity donkey.
Kenny has raised it up here with ace jack offsuit.
Ray came in and fixed our TV. I tell you, Ray does everything here.
Yeah, Kenny.
He bakes. He's our heavy. He's the man.
Burbank to JFK, correct?
Yeah.
JetBlue.
JetBlue, Burbank to JFK, straight through. So nice. 7 a.m. flight. I can leave my house at 6:15.
Now, are you going to go to sleep tonight at all, or just kind of?
No, yeah.
Oh, you are. Sometimes you just pull the all-night thing, and then it allows you to sleep on the plane easier.
Oh, I'm like a friggin' hoe. I can sleep through anything. I'll sleep anywhere.
Yeah, but I mean, it just makes it easier to sleep because you're tired.
No, I know.
Isn't it weird? How it's like a point or two.
Yeah, we got our pet sitter coming over to feed my gay dog. And the straight one also.
That's pretty hard, man, to do.
I mean, I should stay. I should stay and play tonight, and then go, and then not go to bed. You're right, but probably won't happen that way. Now, Mike's got a real hand here. He's got 9s, and he's raised it up. And Kirk and Lance both call him. Actually, Barry Woods is in there too with a queen 7. Board comes out 10 high, 10-6-4. Mike's got a continuation bet here.
Well, he's got a gut shot in the. Is
He's
that?
got 9s. He's got 9s.
No, that's 9-8.
6 is good.
Yeah, it's 9-8 offsuit.
Oh, it is. I thought it was 9s. Okay.
9-8 offsuit, and Lance calls him with bottom pair. Bottom pair. Well, the turns an ace, and see if Mike. It goes check check. And the river is a 10. And it's just going to get checked down, and I think Mike is going to give up here.
Yeah, he does. Lance wins himself a pot there. I got excited. I actually thought Mike had a real hand there for a second.
Let's post here on 2+2 by, what was that, Borgia? I think that's probably George Georgia. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that.
Okay.
He says, I know Barry and Mike are kindred souls owing to their mutual pink shirt passion, but I wouldn't be surprised if Mike walked out tonight and found a fuck your two outer etched in his formerly pristine Bentley.
But you said, you also told him you did have ace jack.
You had Tom Perry. That's a little different.
I actually put you on the same hand there. I said I could beat 9-8. I'm calling 9-8. Big hand 9-8.
All you got to do is play a hand.
Button moves over here to Kirk.
Invite you in for action. There we go, Carlos. Bring Carlos over here.
Wait, how about if Carlos takes, like, say, Boris' spot, huh?
That would be good.
Yeah.
Now, Eric put a little feeler raise out there with Jack 10 of clubs, right?
Hobbs called him 5-6 of clubs.
Yeah, Eric giving away a little bit of information here by raising. Now, we haven't seen him have a big hand, but what did he raise with Kings? He made it like 200 more, right?
He's made it 80 here. Lance is going to call.
Mike's going to call it, and he's really dominating. He's in bad shape. His jack is no good. His diamonds are no good. He needs like running threes to win this hand.
About a $330 pot going four ways. King Jack deuce. That's not a bad flop to bet out with Jack 10 of clubs here,
No,
is
it's
it?
a good flop. If he bets it hard, he'll
Yeah.
probably take it down. I mean, it's not a real good flop for Queen 10, is it?
It's a $360 pot. How about at least a $300 bet here? He's going to bet
90?
90.
Yeah, and
What are
you
you
can
doing,
see,
Eric? I know he doesn't play like this in the smaller games.
Yeah, you wonder.
Yeah.
The 5-10 game, if the pot was 200, he would bet 200,
Yeah.
right?
Lance is going to call him.
Well, I mean, you're asking for a call.
Yeah.
You'd almost think the guy has King Queen here.
I mean, now maybe an advanced player sets this up where he bets real hard on the turn, making it look like it was just he was trying to bet. Now he makes the nuts on the turn. Lance checks.
Well, but Lance has picked up a flush draw, though. He does have outs, obviously. Pick up a diamond to win his hand. And he's still not going to bet a lot. What did he bet?
280?
280 into a, what, $600 pot? Less than 50% of the pot?
Yeah. I mean, Eric has the nuts right now.
I think it's an easy call if you're Lance, though. I really do. I mean, I think if you're Eric, you've got to build up a pot. You know, and some people would say, well, you got the nuts. Why are you gonna push the guy out? You want to win a big pot, you got to build it.
I'm going to move over to that seat there.
Well, Lance is going to call. Now, Lance could win with the diamond or chop with the jack. And the river's a 6.
And Eric's dodged that bullet.
Well, it's about an $800 or $900 pot now. And now Eric bets again. And I think the way that hand played out, whether he made it on the turn or he had it on the flop, he has a monster.
Yeah, he's clearly got a big hand.
Because it almost looked like a little pot control bet on the turn, but I think he would have checked behind on the river if that's what he was trying to do with an obvious blank.
Yeah.
And he showed the jack 10 of clubs.
You know, it's surprising, too. I mean, we've seen Eric play, and there are some players that play to try to keep, I mean, their intention is to try to keep every pot they're in small.
Right.
Because they're uncomfortable playing big pots. While you see a player like Corporation Mike, his intention is to make every pot he plays big.
We got coming in.
Good shot, Danny. I have Jack.
Email here from quote-unquote Dave Jones.
Oh, okay, here we go.
You know Dave Jones,
I
right?
do, Dave
Yeah,
Jones, right.
yeah. Barry 0, Mike +2, Alan +5, Hav -3, Lance +1, Boris +1, Eric +1, Kirk -1, Kenny -3. I guess that means that Alan is really good for the game. And then he says, I've resisted the temptation to rate
We either need Carlos or Mike.
our loquacious hosts.
Yeah. I wonder if they've actually got enough. Well, I mean, I guess you and I have played enough to get some sort of a rating on us.
Coming in.
Not sure. You got a pair yet, Twinkle Toes?
And then we get the post here from George Georgia, the Greek poker god who obviously plays this game. He said, what the hell is going on with everyone playing like a donkey tonight? Wish I could be there. And I'm with you, man. I don't understand it.
Truth be told, I got pocket 7s.
Really is a mistake-laden night of poker.
Now, Barry's raised it with pocket 10s, and Mike is called with 8-10, and we are heads up. Here comes the flop.
Check.
Oh, nice flop for 8-10.
Jack 9 deuce. Mike's open-ended, and it's a rainbow board. Look at Mike. Look, I can see he's making like he's going to fold over there. And Barry bets 300. And Mike calls. Oh, Mike is open-ended here. Queen or a 7. Turns a 5. Mike checks.
Mike's played this real passively up till now. Is he going to check raise maybe here?
Barry bets 500 here.
I think he really wants to hit his hand though, and then make Barry pay. And
look, no, he's going to check raise here. He's going to check raise. He's going to make it 2,000 more. Or is it 1,200 more? 1,200 more here.
And the funny thing is, yeah, Barry can't beat it Jack, but Mike could have 9 deuce or 9-5 just as easily.
And Barry makes the call here, and this pot is about $4,000 as we head to the river. Is Mike going to bluff that at hard if he misses
He's
here,
a
Dave?
4-to-1 dog here. Is he going to hit his queen or 7?
And the river is king, but that's another overcard to Barry's hand.
Well, think about it. You think of the straight draws. Queen 10 got there.
Yeah. And Mike is going to bet 2,400 here.
Wow, and that is a huge, huge bet.
Well, 2,400 into about a $3,500 pot.
Rarely do you see Mike fire that hard with a pure bluff.
And you know if Barry folds, Mike is going to show him the bluff.
And can Barry make this call against anybody else? It's an easy laydown, but against Mike, you know, he's getting 2-to-1 on his money.
Like you said, Queen 10 got there.
Queen 10 got there, exactly, and that's what he's trying to represent, I suppose. But he's trying to represent something on the turn. He's trying to, I mean...
He could have 9-5,
Definitely.
Jack 5.
I mean, there's so many hands he could have.
Pot is about 5,000, 2,400 for Barry to call.
Yeah, he's getting about 2-to-1. He's actually a little more than 2-to-1. One of the questions is Mike capable of bluffing, say, 1 out of 3 times? I know I'm rooting for Barry to call this, I got to tell you. And he goes all in.
He moves all in. What? Oh, no, he called, Dave. He called.
I thought he moved all
No,
in.
He called. He's like, move all in.
You call it 2 10s. You can't beat anything.
It beats you, fucker. What the hell were you calling best for with shit?
I'm open-ended.
Good. That got you what? Squat. Pay off.
I tell you, only at Live at the Bike. You don't see this on TV. You'll never see this. This is what goes on between those edited hands, okay?
Almost. He's got like 2,000.
Another 2,000.
Wow.
I actually thought Barry moved all in, trying to get Mike off of a jack, which would make no sense at all.
No, it wouldn't make any sense. I mean, Barry looks like a genius here. I don't know if you call here or not, but that's Mike. Probably going to put Mike on tilt.
I'm going to just, okay, against Mike, okay?
Yeah.
Barry's had 2 big hands against Mike, okay? Now, the first time he looked like a complete idiot because he called a full, he called it 10s full, right? Against aces full. And obviously to everybody watching and to us, it was obvious that Mike had an ace. But we see the cards. Now, the next time there's a big hand, Mike is bluffing. Now, if you were to go by the mantra that Mike is going to be bluffing 1 out of every 2 times, well, in that case, you would call him every single time because you'd be making money. Remember, he only has to be bluffing 1 out of 3 times to make it profitable.
Bow down to you.
Dear me in, man, Paul.
How many times you got to pay off $5-6 grand before you stop calling? You know what I mean? It's just a disease.
I recall winning this hand.
I think Alan's a better player.
Oh, Alan, definitely. Everybody at this table is a better player than me. Oh, wait, except you. Because you suck, man. Worst fucking player in the world. You just think your aggression gets you someplace. Gets you a squat.
You got me about $5 grand earlier when you called me. You probably made the
I
worst
just
call.
got it back.
You just got it back by making a bad
You know, it's
call.
funny.
You gave it to me by
I
making
always
a
think
bad
there's like a
call.
love-hate relationship, because I do think these guys do respect each other as people,
That's it.
but they really get heated. They're both obviously very competitive guys.
We're heads up here again. Barry's raised with ace-king, and Mike is called with 4-5 offsuit on the button.
And there's the king.
Be nice here. Ask anybody else, Barry. Don't just trust me just because I don't like you. I mean, ask anybody.
Maybe it's not a love-hate relationship. Maybe it's more of a hate-hate relationship.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be objective. Just ask anybody, and they'll say you play bad.
That's right. Everybody knows I play bad.
Well, no.
Once again, your chips are nice and
I
warm.
want to say our seasoned turkey is in seat number 4 there. Paul.
Thing, isn't it?
He is definitely not a plus to the game. He's probably a -2.
Right now,
Paul's a very good player.
Boris left.
So right away you say Boris is out, who was a +3 maybe in my book.
Right.
And you add Paul as a -2, and suddenly this game goes from being what I thought was actually a really good game to.
You know how much was in the pot?
I'm not sure if this game's actually any good anymore.
All my chips. Why
You
were
look at this
betting all
table
my
now. You
chips?
got Hobb, Kenny
You were
Wynn.
betting all my
How much
chips.
was in the
It
pot?
doesn't matter. You were betting me all in, Mike.
There's fucking 3,000 in the
You were
pot.
betting me all in. You didn't want me to call all my chips in.
I think your IQ might be 75. Not fucking,
That's giving me the
not
benefit.
exaggerated,
That's giving me the benefit
but
of
it
the
might be
doubt.
75. The pot was 3,800.
I think I was tested. I think it's 60. My IQ is 60.
I'm just trying to lay back and let those guys talk.
Talking about an overbet when the pot's 3,500.
Overbet to my chips, you dumb fuck. You didn't want to
know what
call.
overbet
You
is?
didn't want to call. You didn't want to call.
I didn't want to call with those aces full either. Nice call there.
Looks like we get a raise here.
You just know one mode.
Is it by Lance or by Paul? Couldn't quite tell. Paul's got King 10. Lance has got King Queen suited.
That's right. I'm a donkey and stacking your chips.
I think it was Paul with King 10, and he's going to bet. And Lance has got the nut flush draw here. Paul makes a $150 continuation bet. Lance calls.
Minus personality.
No, he's going to raise here, Dave.
Yeah, nice play by Lance here. Lance is using his image, his tight image to take this one down. Power of the semi-bluff.
I'm still winning. That's a sick thing.
Good for you, Mike. Tell you what, I'll give you $1. You can go call somebody who gives a fuck.
I'll give you $10. I want you to go buy a book, read it, and stop burning through so much money. I'll give you $10 right now. You promise me you'll go to Crown Books tomorrow, read a book,
The
and
books
learn
are
how to
like
play
$30 or
poker.
$40. Give me $40. I'll go buy a book tomorrow.
You honestly should.
And I'll bring you the receipt.
Here's 20. Get a fucking book.
Good, I'm taking 20 for
Serious. Get a book. Read it. Or
This
just
is, I
ask
gotta say, this
somebody
is
to
why
judge
I
you
like
and
Mike
watch
when he
the show,
loses.
You know, and just say, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong?
Joey wins.
Barry?
Very changes game. That was pretty.
I made one bad play. Calling yours.
All two
And that was
times.
it.
One bad play.
One damn
The day you make one bad play, man.
I mean, that's the thing, though. If you're getting late, if you're getting 2-1 on your money, and you think Mike can bluff 1 out of 3 times, it is correct to call.
You can't have
I mean,
your cake and eat it too.
Sometimes you look like an idiot for making that play.
Let me know when you're done. And I'll
You know, and obviously it just looks so stupid when he had the 10s full before. Right. But is there a chance Mike could be bluffing there? Of course there is. It's Mike.
Eric's picked up pocket kings here again, and he's going to re-raise.
And they're going to tell you that was a fucking.
And he's using Kenny Wynn again, and obviously Kenny Wynn is going to throw this away.
Just
Kenny Wynn trying to use position there. He raised with Queen Jack of Hearts. One of the reasons I like Kenny Wynn's game is he will open it up once in a while to pick himself up some pots.
Actually, I think Mike opened it. Kenny
Oh,
called.
did he? Okay, Kenny just called.
we'll get back to it if you're not going to give it to him.
Get his setup
Live
here.
at the bike.
You want the book?
Yeah, I want the book.
I don't want him to get better. I want to drink this money.
Give it to him. The guy wants to take his money back. Give it back.
I don't want to buy no
That's the
books.
type of person he is.
Bart only sounds
Hey,
really.
Ron, I'm sorry, interrupted. Ron, do me a favor and tell Mike I'll take the $20.
Anything about poker about your play tonight or your two calls.
Fortunately, this whole table does not know anything about poker.
Sea Bloom here
It's a donkey call.
on 2+2, Dave. He says Bart only sounds really excited when he's talking about food.
As a matter of fact, pre-flop.
Have you listened to the show before?
No, that's all he does is call. He call.
Are you kidding me?
Let's see. I raised pre-flop. So I was betting on.
Yeah, I'll take the chips.
That's what I was calling.
Yeah, I think Dave's actually going out to claim the money.
Just a donkey call.
The Bud's going to move over here to seat 1, Eric.
It's not that it was a bad call.
It was an awful call. Queen 10 got there.
Oh, look at that fade. Well, Dave is at the table now.
It was a bad call on the river.
And Dave takes.
doesn't get the book.
Dave, do me a favor. Take a poll and ask how bad that fucking call. I know Barry only has one vote.
Well, Mike has started it. Who's going to start it on 2+2? You can. Mike wants to take a poll.
He can't beat anything.
Somebody start a poll. The title of the poll is "How fucking bad was that call by Barry?"
Turn was awful.
I don't know what the options would. Is it a bad call? Would you call Mike there? Would you fold there?
No, because the draw got there. I mean, that was the only thing.
Mike obviously familiar with 2+2. Take a poll, he asks. And Dave's got the pair. Do I get half of that? No. Lance is going to bring this in
I'm
for
going to
a
go buy a
raise.
book with this.
Lance raises here.
Of that poll on how that call was. That was maybe
We're-
the sickest call.
Ron, tell Mike that they're starting a poll on the internet.
Yeah, when you were betting with King, how can you?
I don't think he heard you, Ron.
Mainly because it's against you. And
Mike.
Mike, they're starting a poll right now. They are good. Yeah, let him know he had a read on his bald faggot ass.
Ask him about that other one with the 10's full when he gave me $5 grand.
That's the call him on the turn, though. He's got to call him.
Button moves over to seat number 2. Lance said he's king there, right? He took it down.
Yeah, he took it down. Like I said, I take exception to that. I don't know if you heard me. A guy wrote in and he says, Bart only sounds really excited about talking about food. I mean, has he watched the show before?
Yeah, you've had many of an exciting moment here.
Yeah.
We could have a show just filled with your Bartgasms. Small blind is Hob, big blind is Paul. Lance is under the gun. Eric in the cutoff seat. Barry on the button. Kirk in the hijack, right? Hijack seat.
One off the cutoff. And the button's Barry.
I'm enjoying the conversation. It's such a great conversation.
Raise. 140.
$140 raise here by Barry on the button. He's got king, queen of spades.
I mean, the implied odds of calling a raise with you or your whole
And Mike is going to call now. Unfortunately, really reverse implied odds for Mike because he's dominating with king jack here.
How could I not give you action? Exactly. All I have to do is come up with a hand, and you're all call for
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way action here.
Yeah, this is a big pot now. What do we got? $140. $140 times.
Now, is Eric going to really call here with ace 4 of hearts?
I would call this. You wouldn't call this? This many players here? What are you kidding me? 1, 2,
Ace 4 of
3.
hearts, it depends on the stack. He's got ace 4 of hearts.
He's got like $4,000. For $140? What are you kidding me?
6-way action here. Jack 3, 4. And Mike outflops everybody. He's got king jack. And how is Mike going to play it? I think you probably bet here, don't you?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And he's going to throw a $500 bet out here.
I mean, I'm shocked you wouldn't call after six players in the pot. You wouldn't call it ace 4 of hearts?
I just...
With Mike and Barry and all these players, if you hit your hands, I mean, if you hit, trip 4s, you hit a flush, you hit 2 pair, you could win you could actually win $4,000 or $5,000.
Wow, you could double up. I didn't think Eric was all that deep.
No, he's got a lot. He's got a whole stack of white chips there.
Now,
Remember, he doubled up on Kenny Win before.
Hob's got middle pair, and he's struggling with this one against Mike. Mike is let out on the flop. Barry's folded. Hob gets away from it. Paul's going to get away from it. Mike's going to take it down there with the jack.
I mean, ace 4 of hearts is the kind of hand that it really doesn't play well, obviously, heads up or three-way. But in a multi-way pot with 6 players when you're really deep, and he's actually in pretty good position. He's in a cutoff seat. I think it's a great spot to throw an extra $100 in there.
Butt moves over here to seat 3. Hob.
Did they get the results of that poll, Ronnie? Did they say?
Mike, your stack's looking a little bit smaller than it was a little while ago.
Well, we got a 10-minute delay, Mike, so it's probably going to take about 20, 30 minutes.
He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Button moves over to seat number 3. Hob. Allen is under the gun.
Let me know the results, Ronnie.
Once again, our new video blog is up. You can go to www.liveatthebike.com. Check it out. Bart and I actually kind of dissect a couple of hands that Bart played. And we're going to keep this video blog going. We want to know what you think of it, if you could follow it, and so forth. We're going to obviously tweak it as we move along.
That was really surprising. Kenny Win raised there. He made it 140, and now Eric's deep, and I think he just folds pocket 4s, if I saw the cards correctly in seat number 1.
I know Mike will call you.
I mean, that's kind of the type of hand you want to be calling raises with.
Gives me another chance to take his money.
You know what? The only thing, and once again, I'll say, do you want to be calling Kenny Wynn's raises, though, with pocket 4s?
How about Barry? Do you want to be calling Kenny Wynn's raises with king 10 offsuit?
Definitely not. I mean, that's obviously a negative EV play. You wonder if he's paying attention to Mike more than he is focusing on the game right now. But I got to tell you, pocket 4s against Kenny Wynn, he doesn't pay off anyway. He can get away from aces. He's too good.
Well, there's the ace.
Oh, wow.
And a set of 4s for Eric. He would have had top pair against a set of 4s.
Well, he certainly would have made some money. You wonder how much.
Kenny bets 2-10 here.
I mean, how much money would Kenny have lost here? I mean, Kenny's not going to
Look at Eric.
Yeah, he's just bemused there.
And he says he folded pocket 4s. I mean, when you're playing deep stack no limit, I understand what you're saying, but I'm still actually trying to. I mean, if you make that call, you need to make, I said, 1,200 total on the pot. I don't know. I mean, against Kenny Wynn, you're right. It's
that's
tough.
the only thing. It's a player who lays down big hands.
Take a look at another chip count here.
$42,000 on the table. Barry's got the table covered now. Paul's coming with 7,300.
Yeah.
Mike with 6,100. See how they're doing? Barry now up 3,800. Mike up 2,100.
Yeah.
Allen's up 17.
I'm the devil. I don't have any.
And Only Lance and Hobb are down. Obviously, a couple of players have already left the table that were down. Hobb has made a nice comeback, though.
Yes.
You don't ask questions.
Really was getting his ass reamed the first 30 minutes of the show. He's turned it around.
Pocket aces here for Eric in seat 1. And again, he just would have flopped a set. And he's going to raise.
I mean, I guess the only thing I point out sometimes is in No Limit Hold'em, you can pick who you play against.
Wow, he's making it $80. He's deep stacked against Mike Straddle. 40 to call. He min raises with aces.
Yeah.
I mean, is he asking for trouble here?
You wonder, you really do. And he's already lost pocket kings today. And the flop comes out like queen, deuce, blank. I mean,
well, 8-7-3 here.
He's dodged it.
Boy, I mean, I got to tell you, I mean, I really liked Eric's game. If you watched on the smaller games, 3 to 5 and the 500, really stuck up for the guy. But you know, Eric will know. I don't really know what he's doing tonight. There's a lot of mistakes in his game tonight.
Yeah, he's really played it out.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was actually a hand I played against you earlier, a couple of days ago, where I had a pocket pair. I had pocket sevens. You had raised in position, and I called you in the hopes that that would lure in a couple of people behind me.
But once you got it heads up, you're
and
like,
once I was really annoyed. I don't really want to play you heads up with a pocket pair because I know you can get away from a big hand.
I think the flop came out like king 10 deuce. You checked me, I bet, and then you folded the best hand.
I probably did. Would you have ace jack or something?
Ace queen.
Yeah, it did make a difference. Though. You know, you have position on me. I was calling to see if I could lure two more people in there behind me, and I couldn't. But you've got to realize that there are a lot of factors when you're calling with a small pocket pair or a suited connector. There are a lot of factors that you're looking for, kind of a checklist that I like to look for.
And player dependent is one big one too.
Huge one. Who am I? I mean, if Barry Woods is raising, I can call with a pocket pair because I know he will pay me off if he has a big hand.
Mike has just rated Barry as a C- player.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
C-. I guess that would probably equate to like a +2 in Mike's book, in my book.
$80 raise here by Lance. Queen 10 of spades. Allen is going to call, and Mike is going to re-raise here with ace jack. Makes it 300 more. Now, if you're Lance and you're deep here, can you make this call? You've got suited Broadway cards. It's not the best hand. Remember, he's Mike just re-raise it.
Start with seat 9 here and work your way around until you get to.
You know you're going to face a bet on the flop.
No, go
yeah, automatic bet.
I'll be
he's going to get away. But Allen can, well, I don't know if Allen's deep enough.
Allen's going to call.
Allen doesn't really usually pay attention to that kind of stuff.
No, he doesn't. This pot is about $800 going heads up. Queen 7 deuce. Check.
And Allen will probably throw away the best hand here. And he does. Hey, you know what, though? And
Mike shows the ace jack, of course.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? I mean, okay.
Do you know anything about poker?
You know, it's interesting. Now, Mike is actually going to Vegas on Monday with his mom.
Yeah.
And they're going to play in some of the Mandalay Bay World Poker Tour events. And I'm wondering, if Mike made it to a final table of the World Poker Tour, first of all, I wonder what it would do for our show.
Right.
I also wonder would he already be a name? Would he already have a name?
Right.
I mean, is Corporation Mike, does he have enough of a following now, enough people watch him, where if he walked into a casino, people know who he is?
I think when we all, I'm actually looking forward to, I think when we all go into Vegas for the World Series, I think we might be humbly surprised about how many people might come up to us and recognize us.
No, it was great.
The people on the show, us.
When I was in Vegas and I was at Bellagio, it was really nice. I had about a half dozen people that came up to me and said, "Hey, how you doing? You're from Live at the Bike," and I talked to them for a minute. It was really nice that people appreciate the show. But I'm wondering if Corporation Mike is going to be viewed like a Gus Hansen type player.
Queen 6-3 here on the flop couple diamonds.
Bart Davis is Mike's money.
Barry can buy me a drink after the show because I'm a good little.
My money, I just gave it back to you.
What would you call that? A company guy.
You had tens full and you gave me
I'm a company guy. I don't know drink on the flop.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks for safeguarding it for me.
Ronnie, I've never drank on the flop.
Not only do you not know where you're in the hand, you don't even know where you're
What are you laughing about?
They came from your staff.
They're still going at it.
They were yours. Huh? My watch doesn't need to be wound.
You don't know shit from Apple.
You don't know shit from what?
I think that we should just kind of really lay off here in the last hour. I mean, we should really be getting some sound bites in here.
Your wife is one special lady, I'll tell you. She
is, indeed.
Wow.
She is.
She might be
Going there now?
You don't know shit from apple butter.
Taller woman.
She is. I can't understand why your
I actually heard Mike
She
say
should
the
be,
other day.
She should go into Satanhood. What's that
What was
called?
the saying? I'm gonna think
Yeah,
about
most Jewish women can't.
Do they have, is there Jewish saints? I mean, come on.
Yeah, there are.
Well,
Tons
she should,
of them.
she should be one.
We're popular religion. We also have our own cult.
When I sit down and you explain poker to me, you can explain religion too.
Yeah, Mike said the other day. He said, "Man, that guy is so hot. He's hotter than two hamsters fucking in a sock." Go, man, where does that come from?
I mean, what can you call me with 300 there?
Puritans?
7, 8?
Who, Alan? 300?
We'll watch.
You want to a different hand?
Looks like someone's already started to poll. Who's better, Barry or Mike? There you go.
Well, I don't want that.
Somebody's got to give it that.
I mean, I think it's clearly. I love Barry Woods, he's a great guy. I think it's clear Mike is a better player than
I
him.
remember my 6 on the river, too.
The question, though, was it a good call or not?
That was a nice call too.
Mike is raised here on the
Went out to
button.
the parking lot and
You know what you
groused
did?
for like an hour.
Kenny's re-raised.
Go from winning 18,000 to like 8,000 because of that 2-outer you gave.
I appreciate it. Paid for like another couple of units for my daughter's college. Thank you for that.
I was going to, but I didn't know if that's... You want to play
Your
that?
daughter's college was based on poker. man.
Alan wanted to see what he had.
Normally, yeah.
College on student
I
loans,
have
I'll tell you that.
to kill the puppy.
Paul's like, just keep going, just keep dealing. Don't listen to that guy with the mustache. Don't listen to that guy in seat 6 with the disguise. That's hilarious.
Button moves over to seat number 8. Barry, the man with the purple shirt, is under the gun. First act.
Queen do 7.
Butt moves over here to Kenny Wynn in seat 8.
How you doing, Paul? Sorry,
Oh, you up with ace jack? You raised me, I fold. That's it.
pencil neck over there.
Paul's going to limp in here. And Mike's going to raise. He's got ace 9 off suit.
I get 90.
Raises it to 90. And Mike's in a real great spot now. You've got Kenny to his left, Kirk, and Eric in the blinds when he's in the cutoff. Now, Paul's actually going to call him with 8-10 of hearts here.
Well, Paul's a pro. He knows how to play a player like Mike. He's faced these guys. He's faced guys like that his whole life.
Check here. Mike's got the nut flush draw now.
And Paul is certainly not intimidated by Mike at all.
And now Mike bets 200. Paul gets away from it. I think Mike knows that Paul is a pro and is a good player too, and he's not going to just, you know.
Mike's a real smart guy.
Yeah.
Actually, and I'll say Barry, he's a real smart guy too. I mean, Barry is a very successful businessman.
Right.
One of the reasons he gets so frustrated in poker, and obviously they can see how heated is, he's competitive. You know, he's taken that in business, and now he's gone into poker, and he's
Here we
taking
go.
the same attitude there.
Now we got a different poll here by Tom himself. How fucking bad was that call by Barry? Lucky call, shitty call, great call.
Thank you very much, Tom himself.
Paul's better than you. Everybody.
But Mike's very smart. He knows. I mean, when he was playing with Stan Goldstein, he knows who to kind of mix it up with, who not to mix it up with.
The last pot that was large pot that was lost. Oh yeah, that was Mike. My case rests.
Hobb is under the gun. First act there.
Mike, you arrogant, stupid.
It's amazing these guys are not on our payroll.
I'll take the
You're
arrogant.
arrogant, stupid
I'll
fuck.
take the arrogant. I'm going to decline the stupid. 80.
Raise, we get 80.
$80 raise here by Mike. He's got 7-9 of clubs.
And he is raising Barry's blinds, and he will do that all night long. And Barry will probably call this. He's got 7-6 suited, I believe. Or is that 7?
You calling me one time?
No, I'm sorry, 9-7 suited he's
Out
got.
of position here, sir. I need to hit the flop. Big. Now.
Oh, Mike's flopped a flush draw here.
Miss me
Yeah.
completely.
And he checked it with the ace out there. Checked it to Kenny, and Kenny's going to bet with pocket eights.
Kind of an odd play here by Mike here. Just going to check
Mike's
call
gonna
with his
call.
flush draw instead of bet it.
Turns a 3. Maybe he
And-
thinks he'll get a card here from Kenny.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Might you bet this if you're Kenny here?
No, check. Mike could catch a 9 or a club. Well, it's a king. And Mike, I was going to say, might you use that as a scare card if Kenny didn't have an ace? I mean, if Mike fired there on the river, would Kenny call with pocket eights? Of course, Kenny might be inducing a bluff with the ace as well, right?
Yeah, it's very easy for
Yeah.
Kenny to have ace jack there,
Yeah.
ace queen there. And he said more outs than I thought. Obviously,
Yeah.
didn't put him on pocket eights. Another player that you're not going to see Mike make too many moves on Kenny Wynn.
Right. Again, you can email us at liveatthebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions. Always appreciated. Now we can see we've already got 20 votes here on this poll. And people might be voting just to piss Mike off, because right now, Great Call is leading by 45%.
Lucky Call is 20%, Shitty Call 35%, Great Call 45%. Well, Lucky Call and Shitty Call are kind of the same, aren't they?
Yeah. Hey, Ron. You can tell Mike some preliminary results here.
Simple yes or no.
If he's not in the hand. All right, let's hold on a second here.
Raise it up, Mike. Raise it up.
Button moves over to seat number 1.
Mike is going to...
Mike raises it again with Queen 7 spades.
I'll just steal it.
Barry's going to let him steal, he says, but Hobbs not. Hobbs going to call him with 6-5 of diamonds. And we see about a $240 pot to the flop.
Heads up.
Oh, wow, what a flop.
Monster flop here for Hobb.
Yeah, and Hobb is also not intimidated by Mike at all. Hobb knows how to bet his hands, and he's going to bet right into Mike.
Yeah.
And that probably will get it done, and it does.
Great Call, 43%.
You did?
The only thing, Ron, is that Mike actually has to hear you say that out there.
Why don't you wait until we get some more
Okay,
votes?
fine, yeah.
Let's not update him every two votes.
Shitty Call, 33%. Lucky Call, 24%. Lucky Call, 24%.
What is this? Wait. What? The poll.
33% awful call, 24% lucky call.
40, how much?
43%.
43%.
Great Call.
Yes. In your ear with that one, Mike. 2 to 1. 2 to 1. 43 said a good call.
Yeah, and then the other half said it was a bad call.
Lucky is not really...
The majority is lucky or awful call.
Ron, we'll keep you updated, Ron.
Broad chart, maybe a pie chart.
Yeah. Do you want to go?
We'll update that again in the show.
Yeah.
You're losing money here.
I'm winning.
How many people were in the
I'm up a couple thousand. I don't know what you're talking
14.
14. Mike's mother and girlfriend.
about. It's a percentage based on 7 responses.
No, we got 30.
Come up with that figure with three.
Flipped around here.
Times the field by 100. Came up with some.
Ask him to do a poll on who won the money in that hand.
939 here.
Let's see how that one comes out.
Great post here by Duke Del Sol, and I'm going to get to it in a second.
Checked around here on the flop.
Yeah. Now, Kenny's picked up a flush draw. You wonder if he'll put some money in there. He's in late position. Now he's going to check it. He's going to check around.
River's a total brick.
Yeah, and the best hand is, everybody missed this. I believe King Jack is the best hand. It is. Kenny's going to win this with King Jack high. Now I want to read this here by Duke Del Sol. He
Yeah,
says,
really great post, Dave.
He says, I'm always amazed when players who make move after move after move exclaim, quote unquote, how can you call that when they get caught with their hands in the cookie jar? Don't get me wrong, I love Mike's game, but he has to accept the fact that his game practically demands people calling him down on occasion with less than stellar hands. And you are 100% correct.
And like you said, I mean, it's almost a pot odds question. Barry's getting 2 to 1. Can Mike bluff 1 out of 3 times with the way that hand played out?
Well, that's what it is. If Mike is bluffing 1 out of 3 times, you break even on the call. If you can bluff more than 1 out of 3 times, let's say Mike is bluffing 40% of the time,
right.
Well, then you're suddenly making money on that call.
Right.
90.
I might say that Mike is bluffing as much as half the time.
Thank you. 90 to you, Lavender.
I mean, Corporation Mike and I have conversations all the time because he's amazed sometimes where I make big calls on him as well, and he goes, how do you call that? And I go, you're always bluffing. What do you expect?
Mike has raised it here with jacks. He made it 90. Paul's called in the blind with 7-4 of clubs. Lance is going to call here with queen 10 offsuit. And we're going to see 3-way action here. Well, Lance has got top pair here.
Yeah, he's outflopped him.
He's going to throw a little bet in here.
Yeah, kind of. Let me see where I'm at bet.
I wonder if Mike is even going to get involved here. He's going to call. Obviously, Paul is out of there. And here we go to the turn.
He's a good guy. Barry's a good guy.
The turn's a diamond. Now, Mike's got a diamond, and if it goes check, check.
I think Lance might give him a card here. He doesn't have much of a queen. But you imagine Mike probably would have raised with a bigger queen, didn't you?
Oh, you just called the flop. And everybody's drinking apple martinis at the table. Are you fucking kidding me?
Only Kirk. Only Kirk.
It looked like everyone was drinking in the
Oh, no,
afternoon.
Paul's got like a stop.
And it goes check, check. And the river's a 5. And it just actually gets checked down here.
Check down. Lance is going to take it. And once again, Mike seemed not to make a move on Lance. Maybe there's a little respect there as well. You can kind of see which players Mike really respects.
Yep.
And which ones he's more apt to make moves on. That's one of the reasons why Mike really cleans up when he's hitting cards. We saw him yesterday, actually, and the day before that. We see him when he hits his flushes and he hits his straights, he is going to get paid off because he bluffs so much.
Yeah.
But when Mike goes a little bit card dead and doesn't hit his draws, he can just spew money off.
And Mike has got ace-king in the straddle spot here, Dave. And Barry is going to raise with king 10, and I think we're going to see these two again. And if a king comes out here, 140, and Alan's got 10-4. Is he just doing the... Yeah. And I think Mike's going to re-raise him. And there it is.
Yeah, one thing about Mike's game, he's never scared to play out of position.
Yeah.
A lot of times players are kind of like, well, I don't want to play ace-king out of position, then what do I do on the flop? Mike is fearless when it comes to that. He will play this hard.
And Barry does not get involved with the hand.
Yeah, good laydown by Barry, really is.
I got to tell you, in an earlier time, I think Barry instantly calls that in position, and that hand was full of trouble if a king came out, because I don't know if you'd get away from it.
No, he definitely wouldn't have.
Instead, he gets rid of it pre-flop, and he doesn't even have to get involved.
Yeah, definitely Barry's definitely raised his game up. He used to let his ego get involved. And you can see here, especially when it comes to Mike and him, that ego can really kill your chips.
The button is moved to seat 5.
We should get some of these quotes, some of Barry's and Mike's quotes on our T-shirts.
And Barry has ace-king now.
I would buy a T-shirt then.
And look at this. Barry's limping in. I think he's trying to pull the limp re-raise here with ace-king with Mike in the big blind, Dave.
Well, he's behind, though. He does not have the best hand.
And there it is. Mike makes it 80 more, and I have a feeling Barry's coming back over the top here.
Now, Mike cannot make a set. We see that 2 of the 5's dead.
And Barry executes the limp re-raise here to the prediction, 300, and Mike instantly calls. And there is no more 5s in the deck, and most of the kings are dead as well.
Yeah.
How is Mike going to play this out of position? Oh, it's a ragged board here, Dave.
It really is. And Mike's got a straight draw.
And it goes check, check. Turns a queen. Barry checks, and Mike checks again.
Tell me what my hand is. Ace king.
And Mike correctly calls his hand out. Mike checks, and Barry checks behind him. And 5s are good. And Mike correctly called Barry's hand out there. Wow.
Well, I mean, it's not that difficult when Barry checks the turn, is it?
Right.
I mean, Barry checked the flop. He raised, he limp re-raised, okay? I mean, I don't want to, kiss Mike's ass all night here. He limp re-raises. Then he checks the flop. Then he checks the turn. What is he doing?
Right.
I mean, I guess he could be doing it with a set of 9s, but Barry doesn't really slow
Yeah,
play.
I should have bet the whole way with that, because you probably would have called me with that.
I would have called off $8,000 to you, man. Oh, wait, that was you that called off the match.
So you playing tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to play a little bit.
A little bit?
You'll never see me
5-10 or this?
You'll never see me call.
No, 5-10.
5-10 game.
I've really run bad in this game. I mean, I would be positive for the month if it wasn't for this game, Dave.
Specifically this game.
I mean, I've run so bad this month, and I am still up. I was telling you about how I should probably have about $9,000 more this month in the 5-10 game. That 5-10 game is just so high, it really is my comfort zone. Hav is raised here with kings. It's made it 120 to go, and Lance has come over the top of him with a move with ace-8 off suit. He has re-raised here.
Now, you know what? That play would work probably 95% of the time because Lance has really not mixed it up at all. Lance has not gotten out of line. And at this time, I don't think Hav is thinking Lance is making a move. I think Hav is putting Lance on either queens or aces.
Yeah.
Or maybe jacks.
And Hav is trying to figure out how much Lance has here. Funny thing here is Hav moves all in, Lance is going to fold.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously.
And Hav is just going to call here.
I mean, Lance is re-raised. You got to give Lance credit for a hand here. And there's the ace.
There's the ace. Wow.
It's really a terrible flop, actually, because now you can't beat pocket jacks either. The only hand you can beat is actually pocket queens.
And it goes check, check on the flop. And now the turn's a queen.
And now you can't beat pocket queens.
There's absolutely nothing that Hav can beat out there from what this guy's represented. Hav checks again. And I don't think that Lance necessarily would like the board unless you specifically put Hav on kings. Although Hav was the first raiser.
Yeah, I mean, Hob can have a lot of hands. Hob can have pocket nines, pocket eights.
How many times has Hob lost to kings now tonight? 3 or 4? Man. Well,
And that-
influx of emails here, Dave.
Well, that happens. I mean, you've got to realize that pocket kings against ace eight, you're a 2-1 favorite, right?
Right.
Well, you're going to lose that 1 out of 3 times. You know, that happens. You know, so and obviously it's not going to always happen at the same time. So.
Justin Gingrich says, I think tonight would be a perfect night for Mike and Barry to go heads up.
Get an email here from Tony T. Great call by Barry. Hey, Mike, move on. You got outplayed, you big baby. New name for Mike instead of Corporation Mike. How about Crybaby Mike?
Yep. Barry will love that.
You could have jacks or queens. What's that?
Well, Lance has got trip 9s here, and he checked it, Dave, on the flop. And Kirk is just he's gonna bet out here with a 4. Lance did not bet on the flop here in position. Let's see how Lance is gonna play this. He's gonna raise it a little bit here.
Interesting email here from Dave Jones. I'd like to read it in a second.
I assume that Kirk is gonna get out of here. He does.
Said Mike reminds me of a blackjack player I knew many years ago. He went on a winning streak. Everyone wanted to play him, but he just kept winning. He won for a solid year. It was incredible. He quit a real high-paying job to go pro. It wasn't long before he was dead broke and he looked like hell. I don't think taking polls is a good idea. I don't think you guys should communicate with the room at all. But since Mike asked, I admire Barry for calling. Mike is a piece of work. He's dancing around on every hand, and when someone calls him down, he calls the guy a moron. I mean, that is the one thing. I mean, I do respect Mike. Like I said, I'm friends with the guy. But at the same time, he's really out of line when he criticizes people for calling him down. I just don't understand what he expects people to do.
Barry's going to raise it up here to 130 with pocket 8s.
You don't want action? Get this one. You don't get action? Get this one. Get action. What the hell do you want?
Email here from SC. He says, Kara's Book of Tells coming to life. Mike is yapping. Flop comes off Jack 3-4 when he has King Jack. He fires out and immediately is no longer joking around.
Yeah.
Not sure I would have said anything. Prize is future.
Email here from Clayton Schick. He says, tonight's the last night I get to watch the show for the next 5 months. I work as a guide in Northern Canada. I watch the show every night and tell everyone I know about the show as well. It's the best poker show out there. Just wanted to drop you a line. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. I guess he's probably some sort of outdoor... Well, he says he probably runs a lodge up there in Canada. Probably like a summertime thing.
Right, I guess.
Yeah.
No internet access up there, I assume.
Mike is raised here with Queen Jack, and Kenny Wynn's got aces, and here comes the repop. He's going to make it 380. 80 by Mike, 380 Kenny.
And you see the respect that Kenny gets there. Nobody's even going to think about calling him here, and I assume Mike's going to throw this away as well.
Isn't that kind of how, like, The Shining started off? Like, the family went in the wintertime to, like, take care of a lodge, and then the father went crazy? I don't know if it was in northern Canada, but...
I don't know. I forget the actual... No, I think it was...
Pennsylvania or something?
I thought it was upstate New York. Wasn't it? The Shining?
I'm not sure where it took place.
Button moves over to seat number 1. Hob is in the big blind, Barry in the small blind. Paul was under the gun, he threw it away. Mike's not going to play it either, and this is limping around. Actually, this is folding around, sorry. Goes over to Eric. He's not going to play, and they're going to chop it up. Move the button over to seat number 2.
Interesting email here by Rachel Rawlings. She says, if you're facing a player that you rate as, say, a +2, remember the scale that we're using, is it like having 2 more outs? Or is this on some other scale entirely? I don't want to confuse people. I don't think you should mix the scale with the amount of outs of a hand and pot odds. I think that gets jumbled in.
To me, this is a pure game selection.
Game selection, that's what we're talking
about.
That
I use for myself.
Right.
And I would encourage you to use it as well. Or
I think you play your regular game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you want to be a winning poker player, half of the battle is picking the right game. I think anybody would agree with that. As far as I'm concerned, part of the way I rate players is anywhere from -3 to +3. And if the game is plus, well then, and there's good enough money in the right spots, well then I suddenly think the game is good for me.
Oh, this is going to be a good one. I'll tell Mike in a second. Got a raise here by Kirk. Ace-king offsuit. Hob is going to call with deuce 3 of hearts from up front. And Mike is going to call. Anytime I'm in a pot with Kirk, I actually might come in with a hand that's not that good because I think I can really outplay him. Here we go to the flop. Oh, he's hit the king. King 10-3. Check to Kirk. And he's going to bet out.
Yeah, wow, big bet there. $400.
Yep. Hey, Ron. Tell Mike that George Georgian just emailed in and said that he thought it was a great call by Barry. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. George? Tell George he's born.
Let's keep this show interactive there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Button moves over here to Hob and C3.
Now, if you've missed any part of this show, you can actually watch a replay. It'll be on again tonight at 11 p.m. and then again every 3 hours until tomorrow at 5 p.m. You can also watch the entire week of Live at the Pike from on Sunday, starting at noon.
You don't play that?
So you can play those big tournaments online and watch the entire week. We had some good poker.
He just wanted a freaking piece of the freaking rookie, man.
No, I figured you had a big hand. So you know what I mean? That's how you win big pots. I'm going to get off a big hand.
No, I learned my lesson. I made a mistake. 4 players.
Four-way action here.
Yeah, limped around $80 pot. Ace King 3 rainbow, and nobody's got much of anything actually. Paul's got the best hand here. It's still with deuces, but Hobbs gonna take a shot at it with absolutely nothing on the button.
Well, he did this again. I mean, this time he's actually not in the button, Dave. I don't think. Isn't he up front?
Yeah, no, he's on the button.
Oh, excuse me. Okay. Well, he did that earlier with an ace and a king up there in an unraised pot from up front. This time he does it from the button.
Yeah, the last time he did that, once again, though, he was actually in kind of middle position, and I had pointed out that Lance was one off the button, and the flop was ace king 3.
Yeah.
And Hob correctly pointed out this guy probably wouldn't have, if he had an ace, he might have raised it.
So they actually had the beat button down for literally a minute.
Button moves over to seat number 4.
No, at certain times during the show they have done tabletop.
Interesting post here by Siebel. He says, Mike has some good instincts, but makes a lot of mistakes. For example, you shouldn't be bluffing the calling station. In parentheses, Barry.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's one of those things where it's correct to call Mike probably because he's going to be bluffing, say, 35, 40% of the time. Well, it's incorrect to bluff somebody that is going to call you more than, say, 50% of the time. The bluff is not positive EV there because Barry's going to call you too often.
Four-way action here. Jack 3-3, couple diamonds.
Yeah, Paul's got the best hand here. He's on the button. He's going to bet this.
Bet it with sevens.
130.
And Mike is going to check call here. I think Mike's setting up a play here, Dave, because he's got absolutely nothing. Turns a deuce. Mike checks, and Paul checks right behind him. The river here is a queen. And now Mike's going to bet 400. And diamonds got there. I think he might have been calling to try to represent diamonds.
Yeah, definitely.
Paul can't beat a jack or a 3 or a flush, and Paul lays it down.
One thing Mike is very good at, I was saying, that's a player you can bluff, and it's a good play by Mike.
Paul's going to recognize what's out there, what he can beat, what Mike would have called with on the flop.
Exactly, and Mike is trying to make it look like it makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
What could I call you with? What got there? Okay, I'm going to bet this.
Young one on 2+2 says, Barton David, do you know if Mike plays online? If he doesn't, he should play the 6 max no limit table. With his lagged style, I bet he could be a big winner online.
Yeah,
well, you know, it's funny because I'd like to hear about that post from some other people out there because I know a lot of people really down the live players, and they'd say Mike would just get eaten alive in the $2,000 games on Party. Would he? I don't really know. I mean, we've seen a guy like. He really only had a couple of big-time internet players. That guy Noble, he played here a couple weeks ago. He's a pretty big winner. What is it with you, man?
You know what? I just got to admit it. I guess everybody online is clearly better than anybody live. I mean, come on. Poker is poker, okay?
Figured you'd try to take that.
Paul's going to pop this one up here with 8-6 offsuit. Mike's going to call with King Jack. And Kirk is going to come in here with 8s.
I mean, in the end, the people that survive are usually the better players. I mean, it's like, survival of the fittest.
Right.
If you're a bad player, eventually you go broke, and you're no longer playing in that game. And that applies to live play and internet play.
Well, everybody's missed here. Now, there's one over here on the queen. And like I said, I think really where maybe Kirk improves. Now, he's not going to get involved with Paul. And you know what? Maybe check folding here with 8s isn't necessarily a bad play against Paul. But even against other players, Kirk doesn't fire at that flop.
He never fires.
He never would. And I think at times, I think you have to, right?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I would rather see, I mean, the funny thing is once in a while you'll see Kirk raise with 8-6, just kind of like mixing it up, right? I would rather see him never raise with a hand like that.
Yeah.
Just raise it with his normal, solid holdings, but follow through with a bet when he has pocket 8s there.
Can I ask the boys in the back? Ask them to confirm whether I had better than 8 high or not on the last hand.
Well, pair of 8s doesn't count.
Nope. Pair of 8s would be better than 8 high. I agree with you.
Flop moves over here to Allen.
Tell Nash, Ryan.
And Allen has been extremely quiet tonight, hasn't he?
Yeah.
70.
Eric is going to pop it up here to 70 from up front with pocket 9s. Barry makes a quick call with Queen Jack.
I mean, Allen's normally at +2, but you got to say he's almost at +1 tonight because he's not playing any hands.
Yeah, he's playing incredibly tight.
4 players.
Mike's in there with Queen 7 of diamonds. Paul calls a little gap-suited connector. Well, not a bad flop for 9s here. Now, Mike's got diamonds and an overcard. Mike's going to bet.
20.
And this is the problem with Mike, is he would bet a 5 now here, David.
Yeah, he
got
would.
9s next to act.
Definitely.
What would you do in this spot if you had 9s with 2 people after you? I mean, this is a tough one. Now, Eric is just going to call.
Yeah, I think you can just call this.
Just to see what happens behind you?
Exactly. And depending on what comes on the turn, the problem is, though, is you don't know, well, if Mike checks here, I'm probably going to bet it. I'm not going to give him a free card.
And Eric is going to bet. He's going to bet 300. Mike quickly check calls here. This pot is approaching $2,000. River now is a deuce.
And I got to say, if he bets here, I probably call.
Yeah. He's going to bet 900
But
here.
once again, I mean, I'm seeing the cards.
Yeah.
It's so much harder when you're in that game, and he puts you to the test for $900. Because would Mike play a 5 like this? He might once in a while.
Would he just check call the turn lead on the river here? Might he bet a deuce? I think there's a real good chance he might have diamonds here or some sort of straight draw. He's betting 1,200 now. Remember, Eric is getting about 3 to 3.5 to 1. If Mike can bluff in this spot more than 1 out of 4.5 times, it's profitable to call here.
Yeah, it is. But it's tough.
I think Eric is going to call, and he does.
Yeah, and Queen High obviously is not good, and Eric's going to take it down.
I didn't call yet.
Well then, I wonder if you're going to call now. Are you kidding me? Mike's already mucked his hand when you said I call. What are you waiting for, Eric?
I got your beat. You want to chop it?
Why do you chop
What?
it, Eric? Eric, no. That's crazy. You going to chop the pot?
Come on, dude. I'm not an asshole.
Are you kidding me? Why would you chop the pot there? I don't understand that.
Chips out and you went call. You gotta do it.
But it doesn't matter. Mike's bluffing.
The sick thing is I think you were going to get called.
I am baffled by
Wow,
that.
that's
I
strange. I don't understand that.
Are
one
you
at all.
kidding me?
Yeah.
What is he doing?
Nobody else heard call?
No, I said
I mean, I'm counting this up. How much is the pot total
Yeah.
here? Let's see. I mean, that pot's like $1,300, $1,400.
No, it's more than that, Dave. You bet 1,200 on the river. The pot is $3,000. It's a $3,000 pot.
So you just go here. You know what? I don't want $1,500. Here you go, buddy.
We're going to look at the last chip count of the night here.
Wow, Barry's now still the chip leader here. Over 42,000 on the table. Let's see how they're doing. Barry's the big winner of 2,700. I guess clearly he is the better player. Mike in second place, up 2,600. Kenny up a quiet 1,250. Kirk up 1,000. And then Hobbs actually come back a little bit, still down 1,700, but makes a nice comeback. Remember, he lost 3,000 about 3 minutes into the show.
You know, it's funny here. Mike is raised, and Kenny's come over the top of him once again. And you wonder if Mike thinks Kenny's just keep making a move on him, but Kenny's actually picked up real hands. He's got queens this
Yeah,
time.
Mike just doesn't want to get involved.
Did Eric chop the pot with him?
Yeah, he did. Well, he just gave him the last bet back. Oh, I see. He just gave him. He gave him his last bet back, I think.
Okay. Well, I guess that's. No, they chopped it.
They did chop it. They did chop it. Yeah. Okay.
They were in the middle. They were just in front of us.
So I'm like shitty.
What'd you have? 7 what? Flush draw. Oh, on the diamonds?
He kind of loved that though when you didn't even say you call and he mucks his hand, and now he's still thinking about it. I'm going, what are you thinking about, man?
That was honorable.
That was very nice. I appreciate
Solid move. That's a solid move.
Email that Jason. We're actually wondering. I was wondering the same thing. Whatever happened to that heads-up match between you and Coach Riley?
I'll still play him.
When's that going to happen? I'm wondering for it.
Yeah, and I probably would have wrapped it up.
Now it's funny when the match first started, my money was on you, and at this point, I don't know. Heads up, Mike is pretty tough.
No, I'm sure he is pretty tough heads up, and I would have to change my game around a lot. Do some weird things, I think.
Nice flop for Alan here. He's got a second pair with a flush draw. And he's going to bet $100.
I would raise your ass all it is.
That would have been a sweet move. Aren't we raising?
That's what we did before with the 10s full. That was a good move.
I'm all in. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Alan's bet the flush draw here with a pair of queens.
then you just called.
By
Yeah,
far the
nobody's going
best
to call
hand.
this.
You could have got more money out of it.
Got about 5 minutes left in tonight's show.
Looks like we kind of have a final. I mean, we had 2 polls that went on the thread, Dave. It was
I thought it was a chop. I didn't figure you were that stupid. I swear to God.
You underestimate me.
That's what I'm saying.
they're talking about the hand with the ace and the 10 in it.
I thought it was a chop too. When you looked over the 10, I'm like, ace 10, you
That's what
flopped
I'm
the
saying. The
nut?
whole world was like, wow, what a donkey. Nobody could believe it. It played very similar to the pocket 10s. That's what I'm saying. You just don't know the difference. You have one mode.
Funny, they're saying on the 2+2 post that if Mike actually played in the 25-50 game at UB or something like that, he actually might be only the third most aggressive player at the table.
Yeah.
You always wonder what a player does if it's turned back on him.
Yeah.
If you're faced with an equally or even more aggressive player.
Then you call a raise with the worst hand.
You know, it's funny, I consider myself an aggressive player, but when I'm playing against Mike, it's like he is
Use that same dialogue.
at least 3 times more aggressive than I am.
In fairness, I haven't watched those games a lot. Sometimes I've watched in the UB and the full tilt games.
Do you recall betting with the worst hand?
I guess apparently there's some real laggy, good players at the table.
Right.
Real good players.
I just wish you could understand it. You don't understand the difference?
I don't understand you, Mike. How a person with your... It's not even worth my fucking...
40 people responded to that poll, Dave.
Well, there we go.
43% great call, and then the rest 58% lucky and shitty call. 33% shitty call, 25% lucky call. Again, I don't know what lucky call means in that situation. Does that mean proper call if you're getting 2 to 1, right?
I guess lucky call being, I don't know if I'm winning or not, but I'll just throw my money in there and see what happens. Well, the majority of the voters, though, said it was a great call. I happen to agree. I think it was a good call as well.
And the other poll, though, 75% people think Mike is better than Barry. As a
What did he
player.
say?
Who's the better player? 75%.
Yeah. Last hand of the night here. Now, Ronnie's idea, Ronnie actually says, well, maybe Barry made a bad poker call based on the board, but give Barry credit for playing the player.
Oh, yeah. Well, at that point,
And
definitely.
the funny thing is, though, is the way Mike plays, though, you can't even look at the board. The board doesn't mean that much.
Right.
I'll drink to that.
Button here. Although we do point out, Dave, that Mike rarely makes total dry moves.
Rare,
I mean,
yeah.
to say he's going to check raise with absolutely nothing there.
Yeah, we're going to see one more hand because that was chopped up.
Oh, this is going to be the last hand of the night, huh?
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Barry was a regular for a while and he lost a bunch of money. So time off.
Hopefully we can have a smooth
But no. I mean,
conclusion
Alan's
to the show. Unlike the intro to the show.
I thought that went fine.
Sorry, Gar.
talking about live at the bike. The same people every week. You lost a bunch of money. Took some time off.
Hey, it could have been worse. I could have been holding my dick or something, you know?
There you go.
I was getting my ass kicked. I was being whooped like a little boy.
I don't know if Garo actually. I don't know if anybody told Garo about the Star Wars disclaimer.
I apologize for lying.
Are you aware of that? Yeah. Okay.
You're getting incorrect information, which is not surprising.
Mike limps in here with the old King 8 offsuit. Not a hand that has
and
much
Paul.
value.
Paul is just going to limp in here in the small blind with Ace King of Hearts. We're going to see this 4 ways. Jack 9-10 here with a couple spades.
2 pair for Hob. and Mike is open-ended. He also has the, if the queen comes, he has the higher straight because he has the king in his hand.
Yeah, but if the queen comes, Paul has the nut straight with ace-king.
Yeah, but I don't think Paul's sticking around.
I assume Hobb is going to raise here right away with bottom 2.
Yeah, he's got to protect his hand.
280.
Lance is going to get out. And I don't think Mike is going to call. There's not much value to calling this year. If your straight comes, it's pretty obvious.
Well, it's funny, he's open-ended, but because he's got a king, it is in essence an open-ended straight draw. Turn is a 4 spades.
Wow, well, now he's got a spade draw as well. He's got a lot of outs. Any spade.
And look at that. See, Hobb doesn't bet now. And now Mike backs into it, and there's the inherent problem, right?
No, I think Hobb was going to bet his hand. I think Hobb was scared.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
I do. I don't think they were soft playing there.
Okay.
I think Hobb was really just scared. Mike takes it down.
Oh, that's going to do it for us, Dave. What an entertaining night.
Yeah, definitely entertaining.
Hey, have fun in New York.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hopefully your flight goes well. We'll be back here on Monday. I might be able to get some people in the booth. I don't know what the game is going to be. Maybe 3 to 5, maybe 500. Hey, I want everybody to go and read the video blog that's on our website, liveatthebike.com. You can email us about your... it was experimental. I want to see if anyone could follow the action just by us verbally saying bet sizes and stuff like that.
And I'll be back Tuesday.
All right, so everyone have a good weekend. For Dave Tuckman, I'm Bart Hanson. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.